one, strap in for a long one. We got everybody on one. Now you coming at the king, so you better not miss. And we only get stronger with everything I carry up on my back. You should paint it up with a target. Why would you dare me to do it again? Come get your spoiler, but we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you coming on, name you ought to know by now that we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up. Take a lap now, don't be mad now. Run it back, run it back. I got bodies lining up, think you're dreaming of greatness. Send you back home, let you wake up. Why would you dare me to do it again? Come and get your spoiler up ahead. We're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you coming on, name you ought to know by now that we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up.
在以后，除了说傻子，还有其他吗？我左右，键盘噼啪在时间滴答着，还不够。你的固执让我来守候，哪怕太迟也不想以后。就在这时放肆的打斗。I got the height of a lion, I know the harder you climb, the harder you fall. I'm at the top of the mountain, too many bodies to count. I've been through it all. I had to weather the storm to get to the level I'm on. That's how the legend was born. All of my enemies already dead and born. I'm ready for war. They know I'm ready for war. I told them.
We're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, look at you coming, my name you ought to know by now that we're taking over. We're taking over. Hey, maybe you wonder what your future's gonna be, but I got it all locked up.
Welcome back, everybody. It's been far too long, but VCS English is here to bring you that sweet, sweet VCS action. My name is Everyday. With me tonight is Marbinogi and Rebel Fox. How are you, Rebel?
I'm doing great. Excited to be back. It's been too long since I've had VCS. I get to watch all other League of Legends, but nothing hits it just like VCS does. So finally, I get that itch scratched for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
you enjoyed sleeping in though.
What? True. Yeah.
Marby, how have you been?
Yeah, not bad. I would have loved the ability to take this time to catch up on something like the LPL, but Chinese New Year happened and ruined that for me. So, just been a nice, relaxing, not watching anything 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Well,
it's great.
CS happened, I suppose, but.
But yeah, it's good. But let's get straight back into it because, of course, we have had 2 weeks off. It was Lunar New Year, of course, which is always a week off for the Vietnamese players, as well as another week cancelled due to the coronavirus. Obviously, the Vietnamese government playing it very, very safe, as is very wise to do. So while it is annoying for us, it is a necessary evil to try and get things under control. But we are going in with week 3. Of course, these dates would have been week 4 previously, but it is going to be our week 3 games. But let's kind of just catch up with how the league as a whole is going. Let's kind of remind everyone. Rebel, who are you looking at team-wise? What are you focusing on?
All right. Who wants to take a guess? Which team's the number 1 position? Take a wild guess. Anyone?
Flash.
Anyone? It's GAM. It's GAM. It's GAM again, as usual. They're right at the top, as would be expected. They're undefeated. They're looking stronger than ever. They picked up players that were amazing last split, and the team is just look completely different. And now Levi's also finally playing Lilia, so we can start to appreciate him in the Lilia fan club. So you gotta like that. Cerberus doing very well, actually sitting in number 2. I think I'm the only person who thought Cerberus was going to do fine. That was a guess more than anything, but still I'm going to lord it over you because I'm the best analyst now because of that fact alone. And I mean, we've had some surprising stuff like
I mean, you're competing with Marby. That's like winning.
Fair. I don't even know who he is.
I don't know what you're talking about. It was that Vinny guy who predicted them bad.
That's fair.
Do continue.
No, yeah. The surprises to me, I think, have been G Media Luxury and Saigon, both running relatively new rosters and both having some pretty good success, sitting at 4 and 5. Those are the 2 exciting ones to me right now.
Yeah, I do agree. Marby, do you have your eyes anywhere else? Any other surprises?
Oh, well, ever the pessimist that I am, we have had some surprises on the other end with Team Secret and Team Flash. Both of them we expected to do pretty well. Secret, hot contender for number 2. Both of them just so much worse than we could have ever predicted. Flash looking pretty shocking across the board, except maybe Yoshino. And then you're looking at Team Secret and the players who were meant to come in and revitalize this roster and make this top and get this top side to show up and get to the highest. The bot lane is just not showing up. Slater is looking terrible, and that's not what we want from the best AD carry in the league, or who's meant to be.
Yeah, I will say I think Team Secret still has potential. They keep showing us flashes of brilliance, and if we take away Your Way's social media, they might actually get over the line in a series. But I mean, that's obviously a running joke that we have that Your Way keeps jinxing them, but there is a reason to get hyped for them. Yes, they haven't won a series yet, but they have won games, and when they win, they look really good. So the pieces are there. They just all need to actually fire for 2 games in a series, not just 1. Flash, on the other hand, you said Yoshino hasn't looked bad, and I agree. Because he hasn't played. Like, he's just been in top lane farming and then the game has ended.
He hasn't had a chance to hit the map, really.
Exactly.
It's a tough
because
lane.
His team is just awful. It sucks because obviously Flash was so good last year and they've just utterly collapsed and haven't even looked close to winning a single game.
Except for the one they won.
Right, yeah, except for that one game, okay.
Yeah.
It's been really, really bad. But let's kind of zoom in a little bit on our first series tonight. Because it's an interesting one. Rebel, do you want to set us up a bit?
Sure. We got, of course, I talked about GLX, or I think that's their acronym is GLX because I don't remember exactly what it is all the time. Well, this is a team of relatively new players. They came out of the qualification tournament with flying colors. They beat everybody along the way. They've got Soren. Outside of that, it's mostly people you've seen kind of around, but never really consistently in the league. And they've been having some good performances. They've been a little inconsistent here and there, as would be expected, but still sitting at 2-1 in our top 4. Really respectable way to start the split.
Yeah, and Marby, you talked a little bit about their opponents, but do you want to add anything more to it?
So we have had 2 weeks, and Team Secret did look pretty bad in their last few games, but they've had 2 weeks to try and fix their problems, try and figure out why teams are playing bad, maybe figure out which support they want to go with. Maybe they have a massive bench of other talent. Maybe they bring in Yagini?
Isn't it Nagia?
Nagia. Yeah. Yes. I knew the syllables, just I forgot the order. But yeah, so Nagia, you could bring him in for coded, see if that revitalizes anything. Maybe they've been trying stuff in their in scrims in their 2 weeks off. We'll have to see what they come up with because they can't just sort of do the same thing again and again and again, and because it's not working so far.
Yeah, well, let's put our money where our mouth is. If production can bring up our predictions for this first series, I hold out hope for Team Secret. I have them winning 2-1. They just have too many good players on their team to not be able to beat Luxury. What do you guys have, and why do you have them? Starting with Rebel.
Team Secret has looked like a hot mess, and quite honest. And maybe you're right, maybe 2 weeks is enough to fix their problems, but from what I saw, across the map, they weren't really performing to the level we would expect of what Team Secret should be able to bring. They've been focused on, like, Camille Gallia was something that they did a lot of, aren't even bringing that out this split. But the big thing to me is their supports have been absolutely terrible. They've been god-awful. CBL is probably the second worst support in the league, only in front of Phi 1. That's just absolutely, like, it's almost uncontestable in my mind that these two have been blowing the lane for Slater. And that's not an excuse for how Slater's been playing. But right now, their support's got to step up because at the moment, they're not playing to the level they need to be.
All right, fair enough. Strong words. Marby, what is your take on this? I can't actually see the prediction, so I don't know what you have.
If you'd asked me at the end of week 2, and had we gone straight into week 3 as we were meant to, I would have gone the same as Rebel 2-0 G Media Luxury. Maybe 2-1 because Team Secret have those games. But I'm thinking they have played great games. And I think the main problem is they keep drafting away from the comfort of their players. So maybe they fixed that up. Maybe they've added a bit more oomph to sort of maybe they figured out what they do correctly when they make those good games happen. And 2 weeks is a long time in League of Legends. We are probably also on a new patch as well, so maybe they've brought something else up for that. Who knows? I think I'm going 2-1 because I have faith in the traditionally good Secret coaching staff, even though Nick Swatter has left.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's where my faith is as well. I have them, as I said, I have them winning 2-1. I think 2-0 is very aggressive, considering I don't think they've lost 2-0 yet. I think they've gone 2-1 in every series. I might be mistaken on that. It has been a while.
They have only played 2 series, so...
Okay, so... Okay.
That's one. That's fine. Either way, I think I did have it as a 2-1, but I don't rate. It doesn't matter. Either way, I'm pretty sure that G Media Luxury's got this simply because they've been put together the entire split. The one thing that's been question mark is, like, they had that weird switch up in their second series where they went to Killer Queen and tried him out for a little bit. And he had some good performances before Soren stepped in, but it's really tough to replace Soren. He was really good on Evos, and he's been a spectacular performer in the VCS for a very long time. Their question is, like, do we try Killer Queen? Do we try to get him involved somehow? Because he is a very good player. Like, I think one of you two said actually in the first week about how Killer Queen should be a starter even if it's not on this team over Soren.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty big deal. So yeah, that's your opinion, which is a great opinion because he's a great player.
Yeah. That just to reiterate what Rebel's saying, I think Killer Queen is absolutely a good enough jungler to start in the VCS. He's just not better than Sorn. So if your team has Killer Queen and Sorn, yeah, you play Sorn, but Killer Queen is good enough to start. And I actually like GMD Luxury giving him a run every now and then. It's best of threes. You can afford to lose one game if you're confident enough that once you bring Sorn back in, you'll lock everything down, which I think is fairly likely. I just think eventually Team Secret has to be able to make it work. Their game ones have looked really, really good. It's their game 2 and 3s where the wheels have fallen completely off the wagon. I think that's something that in the 2-week period you can fix. That's where my faith is, but I could definitely see G Media getting over the line. I think we are about to head into Champion Selected. There it is. We'll be throwing over to that. And we'll be seeing what these teams want to do. Team Secret over on the blue side, immediately banning out Zoe.
Yeah, that's been a good ban up against... it should be a good ban up against Blazers because he has had some...
Maybe keep it on the incredible rating.
Fantastic games. Yeah. It's... VATV is struggling a bit today, but it's just pick and bans at this point. It doesn't need to be completely nice. It's not there's a lot of animation going on.
True. I will just give out the standard VCS English disclaimer. Any lag you see on screen is not our fault, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's the source stream. We do apologize for it, but unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do. But it is going to be a Renekton, Lilia, and Kai'Sa removed. Slater, potentially GLX, helping him out there by banning out his Kai'Sa.
Yeah, it's still 11.2.
Yeah.
So that's something worth mentioning. That means we're not seeing the rel buffs in terms of damage and stuff. There's still a few things yet to be nerfed.
No Senatom can't try it. Oh, hey! Diggy is in.
Woo! I called it! Yeah, so Nagia, I've been kind of hyped for this guy for a while. He was popping off in VCSB last year and again. Well, yeah, mostly last year. We haven't really had VCB yet this year, but he's been I wanted to see him upgraded into VCSA for 2 splits in a row. He almost made it in naturally for this splits, but they're gonna pick it. They're gonna bring him in, maybe fix some of the consistency issues in top lane because that was one of Kotad's biggest weaknesses.
Yeah, they will secure that Udyr that DNK has been playing. He has been leaning very much into that pick that has obviously risen to prominence around the world. The response is Aphelios Nah. Team Secret, Snatch Thresh.
You should. You have some,
Yeah.
Just snatch the Thresh away and punish the greed on the Aphelios pick?
Yeah, and we are at a place where Senatom Kench is quite into meta. Samiris already stepped out of the meta at this point, so Aphelios makes some sense with Kai'Sa off the board. But this early and into the potential of now what looks like Malphite, who gets the counter pick into the likes of Gnar, this is weird from GLX, picking these very, very solidified champions with pretty clear weaknesses as well early on into this draft.
They do pick up the Samira. I think that's a mistake, honestly, not snatching away the Thresh. Or GLX can just not pick it anyway. Okay.
You could ban it.
Yeah, I think surely you ban it, right?
VCS continues to fail draft phase.
This is weird. Aphelios is only really viable with Thresh.
So Tahm Kench does work as a sort of knockoff Thresh with Aphelios, but it always comes down to why are you blinding Nah, especially first rotation? He is not good enough to blind first rotation. Take your jungler, take the Thresh for. I mean, even better because gonna get Olaf in that 3rd pick anyway, and that is a top tier jungler alongside the Udyr. Now Thresh is banned. Now you can't run it.
Good.
Maybe they run Maybe they run Tahm Kench. Maybe that gets banned against them, and you just have a Aphelios waiting to be smacked up by a Malphite.
I mean, It's not unlikely. Realistically, I mean, Tahm Kench I don't necessarily think will get banned, but I also don't think he'll get picked. It's not a very VCS champ.
No.
They like their playmakers.
Actually, what was really popular, if I recall, at the time, because I'm a few patches ahead of this, everybody is at this point, but it was Lulu that tended to be the pick if you didn't get Thresh alongside the Aphelios, just because you kind of go ham when you've got the Onslaught. You're able to apply that picks over and over and over again. The shielding, the ultimate, all really good things. This is, I think, important. While I'm not in love necessarily with Twisted Fate this late. Okay, they're not even going to go for it. They're going to go for Seraphine instead.
Okay, it's still 11.2. Seraphine is still very, very strong this patch. So that's just a good pick. It could go mid or support,
Seraphine's
obviously.
still very, very strong on live. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, 11.4 she gets rained in.
Yeah, true.
But she's still pretty broken. Still kind of busted. CBL hovering that Nautilus. We'll lock it on in. That is CBL, of course, going to the Hook Champions, as he always does. Nautilus apparently still meta in the VCS.
Nautilus has been sort of on the edge of meta. We've seen it in the LPL when if there's been a heavy focus on supports, and there has been a decent amount of focus down there with 4 bans going that way. So Nautilus, I can see. It also adds another point-and-click CC to just remove the Aphelios from the game. So with Nautilus ult plus Malphite ult, Aphelios is just gone. He just can't really do anything. Galio can maybe try and do something, but overall it's not going to work. I don't think it'll work out that well, because Galio wants to be going in off the Olaf. So, not a lot of defense for this Aphelios. He's just going to get completely removed.
It's Victor last pick. Sorry, go ahead. Rebel.
Yeah, so I was actually just about to mention, so I'm cool with everything that TS has done. I think they're perfectly fine on all regards. But the Victor makes absolutely no sense to me, because it's like, dive champion, run in champion, dive in champion, run in champion, low range, low range, low range, low range. Victor, I don't know where that's coming from. If you're going to pick a siege mage, pick somebody that throws damage in, like Azir or like Xerath. Both of them are really good at supporting from far enough away that you don't have to worry about them. But Victor has to get so close to hit Qs and Es that it just doesn't matter. He might as well just be a mid-range champion that you're just like, hey Gnar, hey Olaf, run past the fight, kill him, go ahead, we don't care. I don't know what that's for, but I think Navi did a really good job noticing that the Aphelios has no protection. Galio's not good for diving in. It is not bad for trying to defend against Udyr running in, or maybe Samira running in or something like that if you want to play a reactive style like Galio ultimate. And it can get around the map pretty heavily, which has been the crux for it, GLX. Is just getting Blazes out of lane and attacking side lanes. But yeah, getting this Aphelios out of lane and making sure it's protected, I think is the huge part here for GLX.
The thing is, though, is where do you move Blazes? I don't think you want to go to the bot lane, because realistically, you can't do much when you're Aphelios Seraphine against Nautilus Samira. You're just trying to get through that lane. You're not really trying to win it. And then what? Are you going to camp the Malphite? Really? Yeah. Is that what you're going to do?
I guess you're
cool. I don't think Team Secret care. You can throw as much as you want at the Malphite. It's a Malphite.
You do turn Gnar into a champion if you camp the Malphite.
That's
potentially true. I really do feel like the Aphelios was a weird one. Is the way I'm going to put it. Wow, we are straight into game. Wow, that was really fast. So Rebel, your final words and who's going to win?
I feel like TS1 draft, but GLX I think still is just a better team. So I'm completely split in this one. I'm going to flip a coin in a second here. Hold on, I got one somewhere around here. I'll call my prediction. I'll say GLX. That's what I'll say.
Fair enough. I think that's fair enough. I don't think it's. I do agree that I think Team Secret won draft, but I don't think it was a hard smashing draft. So potentially the best team should still win. It's just a matter of which team that is. On the top side, Kemken should have a pretty easy run. This isn't going to be the greatest debut for Nagia when it comes to laning.
No, it's definitely not, but he has gone for that lane dominant build. He's got that coming. He's ready to fight. But more realistically, that top lane's going to be a wash. Unless we see junglers and maybe mid laners go up there, nothing's going to happen. There's going to be a farm fest. Kemken should get up to an early lead in CS, but then post 6, nothing happens. It's just sort of 2 tanks wishing they had something else to do with their lives. The main excitement is going to be around this bot lane, because for the most part, it should be sort of lane kingdom for Shine and Bizbo, the double range champions against a melee, and Samira has next to no range herself. She's basically half a melee champion. So that means they're going to have massive wave control. They're going to be able to push that lane all the time.
We're 4 minutes into the game.
We are 4 minutes into the game.
What just happened? Did I pass out? Did I black out?
VTV, man.
Did I just have a micro stroke or something? I smell toast. What's going on?
So, never mind everything I said about bot lane, because apparently, I don't know what happened, but actually top lane.
Okay.
Ken's just gonna get a free kill into Nagia and then get executed, so DNK can't respond. That's actually worked out extremely well for Ken. I don't know. Yeah, no, they had control over the scuttle, so he probably saw that DNK was coming up and thus committed for the, knew he was going to die anyway, so thus committed for the 1-for-1 and got the execute. So worked out extremely well for him.
We'll have to get a replay on that one, because I didn't really catch how that solo kill went down and how Nagia didn't even get a hit back for the execute to come in.
I think Hyper just too strong.
Yeah, we are a little bit recovering from the time travel. It does take a little bit out of us when we jump 3 minutes forward in time.
It'll say Kongru screws you up, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. We do apologize again. This is not much we can do about this, but it's not a good start for Nagia. Sorn as well will go down and claim that first Drake. Not too surprising to see Olaf picking up the first Mountain Drake, or first Drake in general, as Nagia does currently have priority, but has to play very carefully around a Nah, who's off to a very good start.
Yeah, Olaf, well, GLX as a whole, they noticed that DNK was coming on the top side, which is why Ken committed to the execute, and Olaf takes that opportunity to start up Baron. Not Baron, wow, we haven't
6 minute Baron.
Dragon, sort of like Baron, but completely different. They jumps down there, takes that opportunity. Nagia has to push out because Kem's pulling the wave back. He wants to be as safe as he possibly can while his jungler's on the bot side of the map. Now Olaf's rotated to top. He's able to push up, get some vision into the river, make sure he can try and track that jungler for Sorn, and then that gives Sorn the advantage to go around, farm his jungle, keep pressure in his lanes. He's going to make his way down to the bot side. That's why we're seeing Shine and Bizbo pushing out now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It is fairly even down in this bot side so far. Just pushing waves back and forth into each other. However, the first reset has already come in for Team Secret's bot lane, as we see Slater does have the Vamp Scepter, while Shine still just on that Doran's Blade and really hasn't been pressured at all. He's got 3 cookies.
Nope.
I wouldn't mind seeing DNK actually make a bit of a move down there and try and exploit potentially the low mobility bot lane from GLX. But at the moment, it really is just that solo kill in the top side, as well as the movement by Sorn breaking these teams apart. Who really has the impetus to get this going? Because surely it's Team Secret, right?
I think for the most part, it's pretty even. Both teams scale reasonably well. I think, in theory, Shine will hit harder come the late game, but again, that's CC potential that...
Oh, here we go. There's the unstoppable force. Ken is in a lot of trouble. DNK coming forward. He's going to try and go for that flash bear slap, and there it is. And they're going to give the kill over to DNK. That was very deliberate there. So a good play up in the top side for Team Secret.
Yeah, if that's what we're talking about, just imagine a much squishier target when it comes to that Aphelios. Just point and click. That ultimate comes through. You could see Kem. He tried his best to make sure it was...
Oh, Marby
just a solo kill. Didn't want. We skip ahead a little bit, maybe. No.
Marby, we're living.
Oh, am I dead?
You died for a second there.
Okay.
You did cut out for a moment, but it does seem like you're back.
Okay, I thought it was the stream, so I was just like, the stream's dying. Okay, no, it's me.
But it's okay. We are fine on this end. We do see Team Secret pushing in the bot lane. Shine definitely not letting that go unanswered, though, as DNK is just meandering around, picking up a Scuttle Crab, covering his bot side as they do try and sort these waves out. And as you were saying, yeah, that Malphite ult, what just happened to that Gnar is a preview for things to come of what's going to happen to Shine. It's going to be very hard for this Aphelios to deal his damage. You can scale all you want. You can't actually deal your damage against this team. It's going to be really, really hard. So it's going to be on Shine. He's got to execute really well.
Yeah. I have to give praise to Shine and Bizbo, though. They're playing this game really well because they have basically control over the lane. Despite being down in CS, they have decided when the wave pushes, when the wave gets pulled into them. And they have to play around their minion waves extremely well because the only way Team Secret's going to be able to get control over that lane properly is by a good hook from CBL. And they're positioning around their minions extremely well, trying to make sure they can't get any kills in that bot lane and accelerate the Samira to a point where she can get to those, big moments where she abuses collector passive and just blows people up.
Yeah, very, very true. But still, they are just going to scale up for now. There is a bit of a fight as Blazers is caught out and just flashes instantly over the wall. CBL cannot land a hook, as Nautilus hitbox is very big, but it's not big enough to go through a wall. Oh dear, Nagia might have to ult away. No, oh, good sidesteps there. Dancing shoes on, he will save his ultimate.
Yeah, very good. Very good dodging up at the end there from Nagia. Ult blown from Ken, but it's Gnar. That's up every time.
Oh, Bizbo taking a lot of damage. There's the ultimate. Slater now has to flash away as Sorn and Blazers have arrived. This is a proper team fight here in the jungle. Sorn has to blow the Ragnarok to get away from DNK. And in the end, everyone will disengage, but Bizbo only just clings on to life.
Yeah, Bizbo's stepping up a little bit too far. Had the exhaust
teleport being used. Dragon is secured, a hook lands, and in they go. The big fort, and there's the Aphelios ult to get the spreading. Samira needs one more hit, cannot get the ultimate off. Bizbo extremely low, as is DNK and CBL. CBL taken down. It's an Infernal Drake for 2 kills. Both bot laners from Team Secret are taken down.
And not only do they have 2 kills, the only people who really took damage were Bizbo and Blazers. And Bizbo was already low from the initial fight. They're going to be able to turn that into so much extra gold in the bot lane on to Aphelios, plus the Rift Herald. All the gold going over to Sorn. Maybe not exactly what you wanted, but okay, Aphelios and Bizbo are actually going to back off. But yeah, it was just a really good setup. They tried to turn, but so much damage comes out of the Aphelios with a 4-man ultimate with Infernum that it's just too much damage at the early levels. The tanks aren't tanky enough yet. Well, Nagia isn't even there at all. And the backline just sort of gets left to its own, left behind.
I feel like there was a bit of a misplay there by Slater as well. He went in so early. He was in the middle of 4 people when he had 2 style. That's a bit too early to go in. And you see he just got CC'd. He sat on... how much is the max style? 5 is max?
5, I believe.
Yeah, so he sat on 4 style for like a solid 3 seconds, just completely unable to auto-attack anyone. And yeah, it's just mistiming by Slater. It's unfortunate. When he plays these super aggressive ADCs, he does struggle. His Kai'Sa is the perfect example, and sort of on the Samira as well. But they do get the Infernal Drake at least.
And with the and that's why I was kind of hoping for an 11.3 for Team Secret. That's where you get to see the Essence Reaver, Duskblade, Ezreal come into effect, and that's Ezreal Slater's Ezreal is just a thing of beauty, right? So I was hoping for that. He's still stuck on this 11.2 champion. He's struggling with it, so that might be a bad sign for Team Secret for the rest of the week. If they have another game this week, I'm not sure. I haven't checked the schedule that thoroughly, but yeah, we see him struggle in the team fights on these short range, in-your-face dive AD carries, which is quite unfortunate because that is the meta for at this point in time.
Well, it's at least the meta as Slater sees it. They could be picking him things like this Aphelios, but he just doesn't want them, which is so strange. He doesn't seem to want to play to the style that actually brings him success, which is very strange. However, we do have the first few mythics being completed here, the Gore Drinker for Olaf and the Chem Tank for Udyr. This is, of course, 11.2. So this is pre-nerf Gore Drinker. This is still extremely strong Gore Drinker. This Olaf is very, very powerful at this one-item spike.
Yeah, and it's also, I believe, pre the changes on Chem Tanks. So still has that extra tenacity. Still has that extra tenacity for the Udyr, which he really loves. He does want a cheaper item, of course, but that's going to mean he's going to be a little bit more effective in that late game because he has that tenacity to work with. That's going to be huge up against, Seraphine and Blazers.
Ooh,
so
we're about to have a clash.
We might see a dive happen, or they can collapse onto Sorn.
They're definitely thinking about it, but he's already stolen away that buff. D&K just completely surrendered his jungle there. Did not want to mess with the Olaf. It makes sense.
Yeah. At this point, you definitely lose the 1v1. You could have gotten CBL to collapse, but it's an Olaf. He just presses Ragnarok and Ghost and walks away from you at best.
Also has a Galio.
So, never mind.
Okay, Artifact is dead. Blazers just engages under the tower. Olaf runs in and cleans up. Team Secret just getting caught flat-footed over and over again.
Yeah, and really good moves coming out of Sorn and Blazers. They're able to punish Artifact with a good dive. Artifact now has picked up his Leandres, so he can dish out a lot more damage into this tanky front line of GLX. But yeah, we're just gonna see Flash Taunt into just easy damage. Just so much early game damage from the Olaf and the Galio. There's nothing Artifact can do from that point besides flashing early.
And he didn't have Flash, it wasn't up at the time. It is up now, but it definitely wasn't up when that play occurred. And yeah, it was just well recognized by Blaze.
Well, really good timing. Good tracking of the summoner spells on the side of GLX.
Yep, it was just it wasn't necessarily bad play by Artifact. There's very little he could actually do there. It was just well played out of Blazers, and this is someone that I know Rebel is very, very high. Really thinks Blazers is here to show that when he was Garm's ADC, that was just him off-rolling, and now he's in his real role. He's here to show off, really shine. And so far this split, he is doing really, really well. He's been over.
No shines the Eddie.
Ha. First Ocean Drake going over to GLX. Team Secret not too concerned about that one. They have stopped the Dragon Snowball by getting that Infernal. So they will just give that one up as they rotate their bot side up to the top side.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense. The next big objective on the map is going to be that Baron, with the second Rift Herald having already gone down to Team Secret. They can drop that for priority if they so desire, but
they're doing
they're just going to drop it here, which makes sense.
Who gets the tower?
No, probably. I've lagged out, haven't I?
No, you're back now. We are having some lag issues in our Discord call, but you are back now. We'll sort that out in the break. That's actually a pretty easy fix, but we'll have to wait till the break. But yeah, it was just getting the tower, getting a little bit of gold in their pockets. They are still 3k down. However, GLX playing very, very well so far. We still need to see this team fight potential from the Team Secret comp. They do have a very strong team fight. I still think it's going to be difficult, even with the gold lead, for GLX to execute against the Malphite, against the Udyr. However, with how well Blazers has been playing, he may well be able to set them up into a situation and buy enough space that his carries can really shine.
Yeah, that is definitely a potential. However, I still think perhaps it would have been better if you'd swapped the champions of Bisbo and Blazers, swapped Galio into support, make him actually more dedicated to that bouncer role. Because I think if he tries to set them up, there is enough damage on Udyr and Malphite to just deal with the shine regardless. But we'll see how that comes out. It turns out that so far GLX are playing extremely well. They're up about 4k. They've got a lead in their dragons. They have pretty much control over the map and are dictating the pace, which is a good sign for things to come. But we just need to wait for probably the next big objective to come up in about a minute to see anything really exciting happen. Though they might be able to use this pressure to... Not enough. Not enough wave.
Yeah, I mean, Baron spawns in a minute. I don't necessarily think they'll be contesting, and I think the next objective we're really looking at is the Ocean Break.
Probably.
I don't think Team Secret will want to let GLX move up to Soul Point this early on. I think they'll want to fight for that one. Nagia does have the completed Sunfire Aegis, and the Divine Sunderer is actually a pick here from Kemken. What do you think about this choice of Mythic over something like Goredrinker or Stridebreaker?
So usually the issue with Divine Sunderer is there are a lot of squishier comps. You don't get that full value, but there is a triple tank comp coming out from Team Secret, so I'm fine with the Divine Sunderer here. I don't think you're gonna have to. You don't really need to worry about being a big threat that dives and assassinates the backline. Just try and either buy space for Shine and chip away in the side lane against that tanky Malphite. So I like Divine Sunderer in this case against this team comp.
It's interesting though.
Other times I'd say it's inferior to Goredrinker.
On 11.2. Right,
yeah.
This is pre-nerf Goredrinker. That's why it catches me off guard. I'm sure some people in our chat are saying, well, yeah, Goredrinker's not that good now. On Nah. And yeah, you're right, on the live patch, but this is 11.2 when Goredrinker was, was nuts, the best item in the game, arguably. It was just kind of broken, so Kemken potentially playing a lot more live and just not realizing they've gone back, but I agree with you, I don't think it's a bad decision. I actually think it's pretty clever, particularly over something like the Stridebreaker, which I think would have actually been pretty useless in this game.
Yeah, the Stridebreaker really would only help against trying to get on top of Slater, but I don't think that's really going to be an issue because, Slater will just dive on top of you and then free Nah, free big Nah. But the Stridebreaker gonna get
a fight here though, and there it is. Bizbo has just been deleted. The teleports are called in. Aphelios ult, just throwing the flames though. Not a very useful ultimate. Nagia did TP. Potentially a little bit too high for you on that one, but worth being safe. DNK can't catch Shine.
I think the teleport was a response to the ultimate, expecting GLX to try and follow up on that massive burst of damage that came across the Team Secret bot lane. But with that pick and that ultimate down, GLX are not in a position to really consider.
They're going to go for it anyway, though, as Blazers wanders forward, does not get the taunt onto Slater, though, gets a decent bit of damage onto DNK and Nagia, but it's not enough to really stick at the moment. Team Secret are getting rotted down. Sorn hits the Ragnarok, wants to charge on forward, is getting close to Slater, who needs to build up the style bar, but can't get the last hit. The Dragon is low. GLX are going to get the objective, even though their jungler dies. Bizbo extremely low with the Chaos Storm following, but it fades away. DNK now needs to find a way out. He needs to run real quick. He manages to. Slater needs to charge his ult. There it is. The style bar is full. He goes the back line. She is spinning. She is winning. It's a triple kill for Slater. And Team Secret are here. The Game 1 power is finally activated, but Kemken wants to shut it down. He's got access to that Nah. The bar is full. He goes big, and Team Secret are not bold enough to chase. Bar Artifact, who can't quite catch.
Doesn't matter. That's what they need. They wanted to prevent Kemken. Oh, never mind. He's going on
Kemken, he gets the Nah. This is a good play out of him. He's going to kill Victor Von Doom. Never mind, an excellent flash. And then he flashes, breaks his nose on the wall. But he gets DNK anyway. What's going on? VCS, I've missed you.
Okay. I was going Okay, that was basically a disaster for
Let's look at
GLX. They go in, the map is split, but they don't have enough burst on the top side to kill Bizbo. Shine is able to chase them off, and in the bot lane, Olaf trades 1 foot. No, he just ends up dying, but it doesn't matter. they manage to use the split distraction to take away the dragon. That puts them on soul point. Then the flash from Slater to block the justice punch gives him a kill, gives him that style to fly up and get that triple kill. Then on the backside, Ken picks up a kill. They chase him out, and that's good. You don't need to chase any further Artifact. You've stopped him from picking up a triple kill on the back end.
Artifact's not chasing anymore. This is just Ken.
No,
the chat.
This point, Ken just chads it.
Oh,
and he messes up the flash. Then DNK feels bad for him and just gives him one anyway. That's the Divine Sunder coming in good there. Maybe Gore Drinker would have gotten him the kill on Artifact as well. Who knows? But point is, he gets the kill. He gets a tower. He stops it from being a total disaster with GLX with the dragon is on top of it. So they're back on soul point. They sort of walked away okay in terms of kills, but Slater is fed. He's got his collector now, so he can do that even easier.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Ken sort of salvaged the situation, but that was still a pretty big win for Team Secret, I think. Slater is now fully online. They lose the Drake, so they will have to fight for every Drake now. It's really important. That said, I don't think they mind. I think they want to do that anyway. We saw Aphelios didn't even get Malphite altered and still couldn't do much against this Team Secret comp. Really going to struggle to put that damage out. I know I sound like a broken record, but I just want to emphasize that fact that this is a really hard game for Shine to execute.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy for Slater.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. We saw in that last fight, Bisbo was just on the top side. It was Bisbo and Shine left to their own devices, and Bisbo nearly got blown up by Artifact and CBL, whereas the rest of the team was off fighting the 3v3 and basically, well, they lost it actually. It was mostly a 2v3 really, because Sworn went in so hard so early that Dark couldn't follow up. Blazers was only able to because he has the ultimate that drags him there. So really split team fight coming out from GLX. They need to stay clumped together to give Shine the opportunity to live up to his name and make those plays on the Aphelios get that damage out without being at risk of being completely torn apart by a depth charge or an unstoppable force.
Yeah, very, very true. Sorn as well. I mean, I think the idea was good. Just zone everyone away and let your team secure the Drake. The problem was your team didn't evacuate fast enough. But that's not a strategy long term, right? Like, you can't... That might work for one fight, but you can't win a game doing that.
They're definitely not going to let you do that again.
Exactly. GLX need to find a way to actually win fights, not just zone people. So we're going to have to see how it goes. We do have the 3 items in for Slater now. The IE Collector Shield Bow. This Samira is incredibly scary now. Is, about 3/4 of an item ahead, as they do have a catch here onto Blazers. Oh, good lord. He didn't move. There was no room to move. Ken goes down as well as the dragon swoops on in. Team Secret, it's game 1, baby.
Didn't have a chance. They get a couple of picks. They pick up the dragon, slow down the snowball. That buys them 5 more minutes to try and find more picks, set up the Baron. The problem Team Secret is having right now is they have a very poor vision control. They've only got those 2 pink wards down in the Dragon Pit, but they don't care. They've got the numbers advantage. They're just going to start up this Baron.
Yeah, and I don't see why not. Blazers has been the best source of engage. Ken obviously also not there to follow up. Baron is now on 6,000 health, 4,000. We will have to get a miracle. There's the Infernum. It doesn't do that much. Infernum hasn't been that strong in quite a long time. We all remember the big one-shots. It doesn't do that anymore. Team Secret will secure Baron, and they are now in a very strong position.
But maybe you clumped up against Baron. Maybe you do enough burst damage to blow up one of the squishier members. Didn't happen. And I think that may just be partially down to itemization and where Shine is at in his items at the spikes. But that's going to be a nice Baron for free. It's on all 5 members. They're going to be able to set up a bit of... They don't really have the best sort of composition to take full advantage of the side lanes, you can maybe use Udyr as, the solo queue split pusher, but he's gonna try and team up with
gonna run
Nagia
down
at the most point.
I don't think you win that.
You do win out overall in sort of getting the bush and thus setting up the Baron minions to knock down this tower. Plus, he's going to team up with Nagia in the long term and use that to maybe threaten Kemkin more seriously. But yeah, at this point, you're just trying to set up for a siege, but you do not have a very strong siege comp. You really have to look for these 5v5 dives.
Yeah, they absolutely do. We want to be seeing Team Secret fight. They want to be using that Malphite, the Nautilus, and the Samira, that strong combination. They do find Sorn off to the side. Can't really lock him down, though. He is an Olaf, of course. But mid lane tower is the goal. They need to get this tower down. We are 30 minutes into the game, and this tier 1 mid lane tower is only just falling. This opens the map up massively for Team Secret. It's very late in the game for it to happen, but it has finally happened.
I almost think, with the positioning of Nagia and DNK, you may have been better off trying to bait them into keep the tower alive, try and bait them forward to defend it, and then go for the flash unstoppable force, try and make something big happen, win that team fight, then use the Baron to shove down multiple turrets. But they're going to play it nice and slow. They're going to try and siege as best they can to their ability with this short range comp.
Here we go. Kemken is caught out, but he does go gold for a moment there. Oh my word. Encore was absolutely massive of this Seraphine. CBL trying to evacuate. Nagia has to force over the wall, but he goes down regardless. And Bizbo may well have just got GLX back in the game. The Encore was there. He hit the high note, and they clean up 3.
Huge ultimate, and then you cannot escape the Viking Olaf coming up and just sprinting down the entirety of most of Team Secret. Now they have pressure in their lanes. They have the numbers advantage on the map. They don't care about this Baron anymore. They get to shove it in. The Baron on DNK is basically the only thing keeping Kemkin from getting this turret in the mid lane, but even that's going to suffer a lot of chip damage as time goes on. And now CBL, he's just he's left to his own against 4 people?
And they're just going to charge him down. Yeah, that is just a free kill. The taunt will come in. Slater has arrived, trying to block as much damage as possible, actually doing a pretty good job of it. CBL might actually get back to the fountain, and does. Now, this is getting a little bit spicy, because they're going under towers, and they blow up Slater. Blazes awareness, go aggressive, despite being so deep in the enemy lines. Very well played. An inhibitor tower falls. GLX are potentially set up to steal a game they should never, ever have had a chance in after that mid-game team fight.
Yeah, Slater tried so well. He did really well blocking off the damage on the CBL, but here we see what happens. The massive range extension on that Seraphine ultimate catches 4 members of Team Secret. Then just Olaf, he is the fastest man alive. Nagia is an unstoppable force, but he's unstoppable until the Grump has something to say about that. And then just chase down Artifact. CBL and DNK can't do anything, and Artifact, he turned that around. But I think he's still gonna Minions block the boulder. He gets out with a free kill onto Blazes, but
has to get away from Shine now.
Nagia died somewhere though.
A little bit harder. Nagia will get chased down by this Aphelios.
Why? How is he? Why was he there? How did he get there? His teleport's on.
That's Ocean Soul.
Open.
This is a huge throw out of TS, honestly.
I
mean, Bizbo, maybe it's not a throw because of what happened with Bizbo. Let's have a look at this fight. There was Kemken did get caught with a hook. There was another fantastic Seraphine ult in there. That ultimate is so powerful. And Team Secret just had to evacuate and couldn't do that very successfully at all.
Yeah, they find a fight in the jungle. I don't know if Nagia was walking around trying to find a flank onto the team fight, then the team fight was over, so he was left on an island. But now Team Secret, they're getting desperate. Yeah, they are getting desperate with that setup, but it could pay off if Kemkin gets greedy. Nope. He's nothing's gonna happen. They're just not walking that way.
They're just chilling in this death bush, wasting quite a bit of time here. but they could potentially get a strong flank. CBL alone in the mid lane currently as the rest of the team now comes back in.
That's not a good flank. They can just turn on CBL and kill him. Kemkin is already doing that.
And Nagia's not there. He has teleport, but that obviously takes some time. So at the moment, they're just playing a little bit of Metal Gear. And GLX wondering where the hell the enemy Baron is spawning.
GLX doesn't have to worry about it. They can't see anyone on the map. They really could just keep shoving waves and be like, all right, you have to come to us in the middle of an open field. We'll see you approaching. But
yeah, the flank
Baron, which is basically good enough. But
DNK, there's the engage onto CBL. They're going to try and blow him up. They'll do that very successfully. It's a good gravity field on the other side. Slater getting charged. Has to fend off this Olaf. Presses R to double kill the Aphelios already. And Slater GLX have won this fight, and this should actually win them the game as Artifact is being chased down. This Victor having no impact. Super minions flooding in through the bot lane already. Only 2 there to fend it off.
Take the turret!
GLX, no, there's a teleport now. They're teleporting now. They're going to push in through 2 lanes. Yep, Shine is bypassing this tower. They are just going to push in towards the Nexus. And you got to say, it all came down to that Bizbo encore. That Seraphine ultimate turned a lost game into a winning one as GLX come back from an early... They had the big early game lead. They lost it in the mid game, and then they regained control in the late game. A fantastic performance out of GLX, and they will claim the first Nexus in this week 3 of the VCS. And they go up 1-0 over Team Secret.
Yeah, fantastic game out of both teams for the most part. We saw them try and play to their... We saw Team Secret really try and play to their strength and their composition. But in the end, they were just out-team fought by Bizbo for the most part. And a little bit Kem in that mid-game team fight.
And that was a fantastic performance out of GLX. We'll have to see if they can replicate it in Game 2 or if Team Secret will take us to Game 3 as is tradition. We'll find out soon. Don't go anywhere, guys. We hope you are enjoying the show here on VCS Inc.
Surf the
Welcome back, everybody. It was an action-packed game. Welcome back, everybody. It was an action-packed game. Journey to get back here. GLX did claim the first game, but Team Secret did not go down without a fight. They did not go easily into that cold night. Rebel, what was your take on Game 1? And what are you looking forward to in Game 2?
My favorite thing about Game 1 from GLX's perspective is it felt like everybody was important, but the 4 most important people were not named Sorn, surprisingly. Because when we saw them in play-ins, Sorn was just smurfing on every other jungler and in every other team and just like taking this Olaf and beating people over the head with these axes. And somehow it was every other player that seemed to shine more than Sorn did, even though Sorn didn't really play bad. It was just everybody else doing all of their work as they needed to. It took Bizbo a little while to figure out how to not play frontline Seraphine for whatever reason, but once he did, able to land those ultimates, get that massive team fighting, which was helpful because they had a massive dive composition. The I can't remember Malphite. Malphite never did anything. So like, I don't know that he was the proper support or the proper top lane. I think maybe you got to bring Sorn back in or Coded. My apologies. You got to bring Coded back.
I mean, they could bring Sorn into the top lane.
Bring Sorn into top lane, yes, please.
I mean, look, I think Nagia was ironically caught between a rock and a hard place where the engages from Bizbo are just so good in the late game that the Malphite never had a chance to do anything. He was ulting out of the fight nearly every single. And I think a lot of that comes down to shot calling. Nagia is not the shot caller on this team. He's a rookie. If you're not shot calling well, he's going to really struggle, and I think that's where Team Secret is falling down. But Marby, what was your take on the first game?
Yeah, everyone on GLX definitely had their shining moment, except Sorn. He had a good performance throughout, but yeah, that didn't have that great moment that really blows you away like Kemkin did or Bizbo did. I guess Shine didn't really have anything super spectacular either, but we saw, I mean, yeah, Kemkin and Bizbo really just had the big standout moments. As for Secret, I'll touch on them as we kind of glossed over them a little bit. Like they sort of knew how to play their composition pretty well. The DNK wasn't able really to get much done in the early game on Udyr, which impacted his ability to do anything later in the game. Nagia struggled a bit in lane, got solo killed by Kemkin. I just forgot his name.
It's been a while.
That's been a while. And so maybe you bring in Coded. You tried Nagia. It didn't really work out for you. Try Coded. I don't have a problem with that. I think the bot lane played pretty well. Slater actually looks like he knew how to play his champion this time, so that's a good sign. He progressed a little bit in the.
I don't think CBL was very impressive.
No, CBL wasn't. That's kind of the nature of Nautilus as a champion, though. At this current state,
part of it was just positioning, though. He was constantly just like, "Why are you there?" I don't know. I thought Rebel was being very harsh in our pre-show, talking about how CBL has looked like the second worst support in the league, but I'm kind of coming around on it because I think Game 1 was pretty. I
think it's still a little bit harsh while Pallet exists. No, that's. We'll get on. We'll talk about Pallet later. He's coming up.
We will.
But yeah, CBL didn't play so great. Didn't have a super amazing game. He didn't do anything particularly bad, but he just, like Nagia, he just wasn't really impactful. He didn't really have an impact one way or another. Same with DNK, and I think that was the fault for Team Secret. They didn't have impact on any of their players except Slater in that one massive team fight.
We are heading into Game 2's champion select. GLX has moved over to the blue side. Team Secret presumably picking the red side, as I'm pretty sure it's loser picks.
Yeah.
So interesting decision there, but let's get into it. Rebel, what needs to change for Team Secret in terms of the draft to get them over the line here and bring us to game?
I think something more active out of jungle. The Udyr's a perfectly fine champion, but I think you really do. You either have to commit very hard to a farming style and attacking the mid game, or you have to play to your lanes and being able to attack that. And with a Malphite in the laning phase up against a Gnar who's very squishy, that's attackable. In the mid lane, you've got Victor, who's it's not very simple to do, but you could always attack bot lane where you've got some potential as well. And none of that really seemed to come together for Team Secret. So I'd like to see them go to something like that. Although it does baffle me that now they're banning out Olaf. They're giving the Udyr over to GLX. I don't know if they just think that Sorn maybe can't play it or something along those lines. But this is absolutely a first pickable champion. The only thing I can think is like maybe they want Kai'Sa. So they'll leave Kai'Sa up here. So GLX, if they're smart, what they do is they ban Kai'Sa, then Team Secret double bans into jungle. And you can try to figure out what to do from there. Because I think if that happens, everything goes off the rails in this trend.
It is 11.2, so it is worth mentioning that there is still Pantheon as a very viable option in the jungle. So they can still set up that jungle trade. It's not so much, it's not that big a deal. The only reason you would ban Olaf is like you don't want Sorn to have Olaf. They're gonna just triple ban out the composition from last game. They do not want any of that. They want a completely fresh start, but they have also sort of. But GLX, on the other hand, has sort of locked themselves out of the Aphelios, but they have first pick. They can just pick Kai'Sa. Samira has a better matchup to Kai'Sa, I guess, but he can pick Camille, I suppose.
You really gonna give Udyr Kai'Sa here?
You can give, apparently... just...
Okay, that's an Italy first pick. B1 Italy.
Did Yulway put out a tweet we didn't see somewhere about GLX?
And it looks like they might answer with a Renekton. Nagias, worth noting, has not been sub back out for coded.
Okay.
So Renekton Kai'Sa is the 1-2. You don't need to pick Udyr there, to be fair.
No,
there's no need because they've already picked it.
No. The Renekton is also a good pick away because it stops the Renekton Italy free spear combination. Then you pick up the best AD carry that's available. That's a good draft out of Team Secret. Again, they are showing that they have a good grasp over the GLX, man.
Okay. To take the Stelia.
They could pick Crash with it. If they pick Crash with it,
They banned it.
They banned it.
They banned it.
They banned
I mean, this
it.
happened.
Seraphine?
This happened last time. Six is banned by the other side.
Oh wow! I'm just gonna stop talking. You guys take this.
Time catch time, boys. Let's go.
Okay. I still think Lulu is the pick. This was interesting because like it prevents Camille blind because we saw them hovering that Kemken might have wanted the Camille, but the Renekton completely shuts that out. But you give away your top lane pick. This was the standard go-to a long time ago, and it actually has been working a lot more recently. I've seen a lot more Volibear top, especially in LCS and Amateur where I come from. This has been a pretty popular pick, and it seems to work into most of these strong lanes as well. And there's the Udyr we talked about. Of course, they didn't have to pick it early, and so they just grab it here so it doesn't get banned.
Yeah, very good draft so far out of Team Secret. You know, taking the Renekton, safe blind pick into just about anything. The Volibear, it should just be a bit of a wash that lane, if I remember how that goes, unless you get good ganks up there too. And I mean, you still have that point and click stun on the Volibear, so you can still set up Nidalee for those big spears. I'm very interested to see where this bot lane, especially the support picks, go. Team Secret, if I was them, I would be looking to counterpick support, try and make sure you have the option to really try and punish those Aphelios no matter what GLX picks to go with it. You could see something like the Blitzcrank to come out for CBL, if to go back to one of those. If CBL is even still in, that's something we could see something. We could see Fear 1 come in. We might not. But we see the Galio takeaway. They really, really were upset by that composition from GLX last game. 4 out of 5 banned away. Only the Aphelios gets third.
Yeah, this one is definitely interesting so far. The Volibear, you guys haven't really commented on that. I'm curious to see your opinion on the Volibear picker.
Apple talked about it.
Did I miss that?
Yeah.
Oh, I think my internet cut out. So I missed like the last 20 seconds of the guest.
I'm not a worry. Oh, there's no substitute, so we're not worried about the we're not worried about the substitutes war. CBL is going to be sticking with his job here. Yeah, the Volibear is interesting. It popped up quite a bit more recently as another response to Renekton, and I think like DNK could have maybe opted for Talia because Talia for Renekton is still exceptionally strong on 11-2. It's actually still strong even to this day. Volibear is one of the very few champions that can not only like still beat that combination with your jungler, you actually 2v1 that combination in the right situation when you're poking with your E if you start Doran's Ring. So it's a really rough matchup, which is why Udyr was absolutely necessary at that bottom side pick when you get to there. We're going back to Nautilus. Please, CBL, like pick a champion that does something, please. Like actually.
It's okay. Bispo decided to join him in picking a champion that doesn't do anything.
Hey,
Braum. I love Braum. Braum is one of my favorite champions.
Great champion.
But he's in sort of a position where he doesn't really do a hell of a lot right now. With the Renekton and Udyr sort of running at you, you have a bit more use out of your glacial vision, but
I like that a lot better.
The Zoe?
Yeah. I like the Zoe.
Yeah, I like the Zoe.
I think the one thing Braum does do in this composition is stops the Kai'Sa Aphelios matchup being as bad as it normally is for Aphelios. Kai'Sa wants to jump in on the backline and assassinate Aphelios. Braum can just completely prevent that. As Syndra is going to be the final pick, and Rebel was very excited.
Yes.
Go ahead and
that's because I predicted GLX, and Blazes has Zoe, and somebody picked Syndra, and I hate Syndra. She's a bad champion. Anyone who picks her deserves to lose, and Artifact is that person. So TS, you don't even have to ask me for my prediction because I already know if they've got Syndra, I'm guessing against them because they simply is not a good champion. I'll fight it to the day I die. That is a rock I will die on 100%. They've messed up.
You forget one main factor though. She has skill. She has a lot of skill in that kit, that Syndra, but it's purely a comfort pick at this point because it's Syndra. Syndra is just the Ezreal of mid lane. It feels like it's just never going away, no matter how much I wish it would. But there we are. It's Syndra. I feel like you definitely could have used that mid lane pick a lot better. It's not going to do anything against Syndra. Am
I the only one
just farm
that
out
thinks both drafts kind of suck?
Yeah. No, you're right. I like Zoe.
I don't feel like anyone won. I feel like this is two kind of shitty drafts going up against each other. Maybe that favors Team Secret because they don't play as a, so it doesn't matter if they have synergy.
I mean, like if you look at GLX's composition as a whole, you've got like two poke champions, good engage, and then like fantastic team fighting with like Aphelios, which is what Shine did last game. If you look at the other side, like what does this team do? Like you've got two melee engage, three melee engage people for Kai'Sa to try to ult in on, and then a Syndra for some whatever, no damage, no CC, nothing. There's nothing champion. Like no, don't even ask me. It's GLX. These drafts are bad. GLX is slightly better, and they already win because there's a Syndra on the map. Like that's
all right. Well, you're throwing our production out, but whatever. Rebel, we'll do that again after the game. You are predicting that GLX 2-0. As I was saying, I think both teams just fluffed draft. I think both of these drafts are very non-synergistic. We could be in for a bit of a messy one.
I wouldn't hate Team Secret's draft, except for the fact I saw the order it was drafted in. So it's a very decent pick composition. So you're really looking to get that snowball going, try and get DNK into these lanes to try and find picks onto Blazers and to let Artifact burst them down, try and set up with CBL to find picks. And that's where you're looking to win. Get picks, start snowballing. GLX, they're probably looking to scale a little bit more, try and get into those team fights where you can whittle the enemy team down with Blazers and Nidalee, then look for the big engage with Kemken, and let Shine just rain hell with big Braum standing in front of him, making sure nobody touches him. And is the stream looking...
Yeah, there it is. Okay, it's back.
Yep, there we are.
I was wondering if that was just on my end, but yeah, no, the stream does seem to be struggling a little bit, but it's just the early game, so it's okay that we're in a PowerPoint presentation. No doubt we're going to jump 5 minutes forward in time any moment.
Oh, God, I hope not.
It wouldn't even surprise me at this point. I have so little faith in VCS.
We're just going to skip straight to week 4. That's what's going to happen. That's how they make up the lost time. So, for those who need a refresher from Worlds 2020 on how the GLX, not GLX, the Renekton Volibear matchup goes, it's been a long day, okay?
Game 2, we have another series.
I've had a whole Friday before this.
Valid. Anyway, Renekton Volibear is one of the only counter.
Yes.
He actually wins.
If you need the refresher, Volibear has the passive that auto pushes the wave. It means Renekton isn't able to have that control over the wave. There's going to be a bit of trading in bot lane. If it amounted to something, I would have been really confused and just given up on the VCS entirely. But you have that control, you have that forced control over the mid wave, that force push. It means you can be punished very easily by the jungler because you can't set up a freeze, you can't pull the wave into you, but you have great sustain in the early game against the Crocodile. You have the ability to trap him under tower and stop him from getting those good early shoves and roams off.
The spinning wheel is on the screen, Marby. The spinning wheel has returned. It's been 2 weeks of break, but our god is still here. The spinning wheel of buffering as the VCS stream fails.
Never rest.
It is inevitable. As Nagia does get a good trade there onto Kemken, chunking him out. Doesn't really matter, as you said, Volibear is just continue to auto push this wave. How many pixels do we have on screen? 1, 2. Like, you can definitely count them as the 1v1 is coming in here. Horribly misplays. Oh my god, that was terrible from Nagia, and he goes down.
Yeah, no, okay. There's nothing I can say about that. That was shocking. Cut the tape. Just cut the tape. Cut the tape. It's over. Just cancel the slideshow. We've had enough of this synergy meeting. Yeah,
this is shocking out of Nagia.
He goes in for this trade, but Kemken he has all his abilities up. He lands the stun into the E. That's at that point you've lost the trade as Nagia, and then the extra damage on the follow up.
Teleport down into the bot side here. We have a bit of a party. It's actually a 4v4 as GLX does evacuate.
Flash is forced from Bizbo, so it wasn't a complete waste of time for Team Secret. They can try and make a return play onto that in the next 5 minutes, maybe try and set up a pick before this dragon. But I think we aren't going to be seeing too much of the game decided around the map if that top lane continues to play out the way it has. Don't think Nagia will make the same mistake, but both Summoner spells are down. You have a point and click stun. Just send someone up there. Just fashion yourself a lovely handbag out of that Crocodile. Maybe pick up some shoes. You can build a whole wardrobe out of that Crocodile if you really want to. You have 5 minutes to just go up there and commit some, illegal farming.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real as well. Like, once Kemken hits 6, I think Sorn will go up there. You just ult under the tower, turn the tower off, murder him. DNK is returning to the bot side. I don't think they can lock Bizbo up for long enough to get the UD close, but the spinning wheel is here. We might have to wait and see. There's the flash bear slap. There should be a kill back, and Slater will hit the board.
Yeah, Team Secret has decided that they don't care about Nagia. They're going to try and get Slater ahead, which is... It's just fair. You usually in solo queue want to go out and get your winning lane ahead, rather than try and make sure your losing lanes are safe. But Sorn's going to do the exact same thing, and he's making his way topside. May just be after these Kruggies there.
Yeah, I think he's just going to take the Kruggy boys. I think he wanted to try and hit 6 because Kemken now with the wave crashing. Nagia needs to evacuate. This is a Volibear, can turn the tower off.
The wave is in a good position, so someone can't land that free spear, but they're going to just shove that out, make sure Nagia is forced back and can't get any gold, any experience, and that's going to keep him at level 5, and that's going to make him even easier to dive if they keep him away from that level 6. no dominus means no extra health, no ability to outplay this. And he dives.
Renekton, by the way. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god. What? Whoa, I should not have taken those pills before we started casting. Holy shit.
Oh god, this is
what the
Oh my god. Apparently we missed a replay where Shine died.
what is going on
That's
here?
just a three-man three-man die. Walk up, root, stun, just dead. Yeah, there was nothing much going on there.
Mommy, I'm scared. What dimension are we in? Slater does. Let's getting back on track a little bit, recovering. The stream is struggling, as you can see. Ooh, Nagia with another good trade. Actually does that one properly. DNK in trouble. He's going to get stunned up. This Udyr has no way out. Does go down.
And the pick comp just got picked. There is the strength of Braum. That concussive blows is still an insanely strong ability. If you have the team able to follow up, and with 2 ranged characters, you absolutely do. And that's just DNK caught out of position. He was trying to get some vision down, pick up a crab for himself, and I guess they're going to use this crab to completely see Sorn picking up this Infernal Drake, setting the ball rolling for GLX. Bit of a late one, but yeah. If I'm DNK, I think you have to just try and you're seeing Nagia is able to trade extremely well into Kemken with these short trades. Go up there after he's managed to whistle Kemken down a little bit, and then maybe just try and get something up there, because bot lane's been working. I guess you've picked up 2 kills for Slater. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh there, but if nothing else, you kind of need to save Nagia a little bit. At least put some pressure, let him get some farm back, because he is hurting in that CS department.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nagia has managed to stabilize somewhat. He actually has caught up a little bit in farm. He's definitely not as in danger of being solo killed, particularly after this next recall. We do see DNK. This is not a very interesting replay. He just gets caught, just gets tagged by the Braum Q, and when you slow an Udyr, it's pretty effective. His whole thing is about going fast.
Yeah. Slow into the Graviton root, just and then the concussive blows proc. There's nothing he can do. Blazes, he's going to probably blow up a good chunk of Artifact's health here, and Artifact is probably going to have to back.
Yeah, he does not even land the counter stun. Artifact will have to back off. He's on half health, and he's got a corrupting pot. He's got a corrupting pot and a cookie, so he should be able to stay in lane.
Now we're going to see how they're going to play it. It looks like they're going to try and bait Blazes in a little bit.
Skill button? Oh my god.
DNK's there, but he's spotted on the water.
Artifact presses the ult and still can't land a stun. Like...
Yeah, Artifact is going to get blown up. Doesn't quite go down, but yeah, after they bailed the play, lands a bubble, chunks Artifact right out. That's going to mean Artifact should not be able to help out in this fight, but GLX aren't going to commit to it. That's just a Rift Herald over to Team Secret, and now they're going to try and convert it onto Kemken.
Yeah, Kemken is the target, but does manage to get away there. Again, not able to lock him down. They are just going to push into the tower, though. Slater and CBL have rotated up to this top side, so that should be easy enough. It's a big bear, but not that big.
It's time for a bit of a classic. It's the old Shelly's bargain.
Here we go. As the fight is kicking, Dominus is he's getting chunked down so low. Has to evacuate the fight. Can they get onto Bismo? Slater diving forward. Not picking their targets well. Cancelling autos left, right, and center. But CBL will get the kill, presumably with the Ignite. It is 1 kill for Team Secret.
That exhaust managed to stop another kill going down in the form of Sorn, but that's 1 kill over to CBL, while on the bot side that's at least 2 kills worth of gold. It's going to be 3 kills worth of gold basically going over to Shine. He is now back in this game. They're going to be able to drop this Herald and get that back for the most part, but if they clear out this wave, they can probably try and stop most of the gold getting onto Slater. If we get to see it happen.
The charge does happen. It does go on to Slater.
CBL
They're actually going to turn it around. CBL is just getting absolutely chunked. But Ken might have overextended. He has to flash. Slater, very, very strong with that serrated Dirk. But Ken burns a lot of resources to get not a lot done.
Yeah, CBL, he tried to land a hook, but as we see a conflict about to happen in the bush, they just catch DNK sinking, as in the picture-in-picture, looks like Ken's going to die. DNK is going after Sorn, but they land the stun onto Bisbo. They can't get the final proc, and Slater just steps too far forward. Now Bisbo, he can land the concussive blows onto CBL, and the teleport's
DNK,
coming in.
Very low. The double kill for Bisbo. He's charging forward. Could he get a triple? I want to see the Braum triple. Come on. CBL now. Artifact goes down. Blazers gets it. CBL will get away due to Gear coming into cover. But Blazers charging forward has the smite. Slows him down, but that'll be it. And GLX are in a very, very powerful position.
And in the end, it's, a 2-for-2 overall? And that was basically a 4v5 with Nagia teleporting in at the end. It is insane. Actually, it was a 3-for-2 overall in the favor of GLX. They came up huge in that fight, and that's completely without Shine. Shine has just been in the spot lane, free farming. He's going to be so far ahead of Slater in experience, maybe even in gold, as we see. Yeah, they try to land a pick, and see Ken is really low, but DNK is also really low, and it ends up the execute onto Nidalee from Nidalee is enough to get him down. Actually, no, never mind. I lie. Yeah, Slater steps too far forward. Then it's the execute from Bisbo. Everyone, I was flaming Braum and Champion Select. I'm sorry, Braum. You are the best. You hold door. You smash brains. Artifact comes in. He overcommits to get the kill into Nidalee. Ends up trading 1-for-1. And so in the end, yeah, 3-for-2 is just in a 4v5, and that is just GLX continuing to out-team fight Team Secret.
Yeah, this does really feel like GLX is sort of just calling all of the shots. Aphelios has got a lot of gold funneled into him as well, from all those tower plates and just being left completely alone in the bot side. It is compensated with Slater picking up kills, but it just means it doesn't actually translate into much of a lead. You can see that they're very, very similar on items. Shine does get a lot of damage onto DNK. Aphelios. Looking very flash while he does it as, oh, good lord. VTV, what is this?
I feel like I'm playing Hotline Miami.
I feel like I'm on drugs. I haven't done acid in years, and I feel like I'm
Oh man, this is shocking. This is shocking.
This is really, really bad. As the Mountain Drake is started up, CBL will miss the hook.
Good flash from Shine to get away from the flash hook. It gives Team Secret an in onto this dragon. The gold is very even, so it shouldn't really be able to be. It's going to be really the top laners that decide how this fight ends up going. But it looks like Team Secret are going to just sort of back away. Nagia's on the flank, but he's not a very strong Renekton. He can just get turned and burned.
Yeah, but if he lands the stun, if he can get in and land a stun onto Shine, it does allow Slater to jump in, and Slater is very strong. 3k health on Dragon. If they're going to pull the trigger, they need to pull it now. Does look like they're just going to let it go. Ooh, with a reset. Does buy them a little bit more time. No, they've given it up.
They've given it up. They decide to trade it for plates on the side of Slater. Try and get him a little bit further ahead. Get him closer to that either Kraken Slayer or Gale Force. Not quite sure which one he's going for yet. With the front line like Braum, Volibear, maybe it's worth, but he may have overstayed. No, CBL's there to bail him out.
Yep. And Nagia just trying to stop Shine getting a free push in the mid lane. Will manage to clean up this CS. The Crocodile has actually caught up massively in CS. Is still behind in gold, of course, to Ken. As Ken has gone that Divine Sunderer. Very big fan of that item is our boy. Has got it now in 2 games. It makes sense. On the bear.
Again, very good into the triple front line. And it's it's Volley Bear. He wants to be about as tanky as you can get, and that's a good sort of compromise on damage and tankiness. So, very okay with that pick. Meanwhile, Nagia is struggling to put together his Gore Drinker. Got his components now, but very, very far behind the Volley Bear. And that is, there's 2,000 gold, not even 2,000 gold, and most of that is in that top lane gap. It feels like, though, to be fair, the mid lane CSD is huge. That's where just going to drop down our stream quality a little bit.
Yeah, apparently that is fixing things. Apparently the HD output is struggling. Weird. I don't know. VTV having some tech issues. We did sort of know this was going to come. We had quite a few Vietnamese fans of ours sort of saying, hey, the internet's real bad right now. I don't know what's going on. It's not good. And we're kind of seeing the results of that. So we are doing our best, but this is a little bit scuffed. Not going to lie. You'd think we'd be used to it by now.
We're seeing engage.
Sean getting dove in on, and Slater will follow in. Can he get the damage? He can. The Q and the Gale Force over the wall will clean up the Nidalee, and Team Secret are doing well. They'll get this tower on the top side, and they keep themselves in touching distance of this game.
Yeah, and that's Team Secret actually playing to their composition, overloading one side of the map, trying to make sure you can get picks and then convert those picks into objectives. They pick up that top tower. That's their first of the game. They're going to turn that into the Rift Herald. That should open them up to, at the very least, guarantee that bot lane tower. That would be the least you should be able to get out of that. But they're probably going to look to try and get that into the mid lane, maybe set it up as a sort of free priority device into that bot lane. Yeah, just Sorn, Cordon rotation, CBL with a good sort of hide in that tri-brush, and then Slade is able to instantly reposition and pop Sorn.
I think that was a good call as well. There was no panic when they saw Sorn there. So they were clearly setting up onto Kemken, but they just adapted well, went for the easier target, and they end up getting everything. So doing very, very well. Team Secret definitely keeping this one close. It's only about 500 gold, a pretty irrelevant amount, as they just keep farming on up in the mid lane. Very even as well, within 6 CS of each other. But it is the Ludens already completed for Blazers, while Artifact does not have that yet. Might go back and do that now, though. Can't imagine he's that far behind in gold.
He's not too far behind in gold, and he did have to stop off on that tier, so that was going to delay it a little bit. So that gold may have been made up slightly in the difference in boots, but don't worry about that. So the main difference, the actual main difference, which is surprising, is the spot lane. There's an entire collector's difference in the 280 carries. That's one item to two. Now, Shine is going to melt through this turret because he's Aphelios, and that's what Aphelios does. So we're going to see what he can get on his next recall. He probably is sitting on a fair amount of gold, but those 4 kills are nothing to be snuffed at from the side of giving Team Secret that gold back. And trying, and not quite an advantage, but it's so even, it doesn't matter.
I would actually say they DNK has a big bear land on his head. He's a much smaller bear. They did it to try and lock Kemken down. He's going to flash over the wall, and they're going to chase the tower. Valid. And I was going to say, I kind of feel like Team Secret, they are behind in gold, but I actually think they're strong. The 2-item power spike for Kai'Sa is much bigger than the 2-item power spike for us, and she's hit it earlier. I think if they fight around Slater, they're actually much stronger. That's not going to last forever, of course. Aphelios, as the game goes on, will only get stronger and stronger, while Kai'Sa kind of plateaus. But right now, at this dragon, I have to favour Team Secret.
Yeah, it's a matter of where your gold is allocated. In Team Secret's case, it's basically all in on Slater. So if Slater slaters it, it could go terribly wrong because that's all your gold gone. But that's also such a really strong point of power that if you can protect Slater and if he can stay alive, that means he's going to put out so much more damage than where the gold is allocated on GLX, which is basically the Volley Bear and the Nidalee, with their advantages. And it's not even so much the Volley Bear anymore. Nagia has caught up at this stage, so it's really just on the Nidalee and probably the Braum after getting that double kill. And
good stun out of Artifact. Bizbo tagged up by that W. Blazers not landing that paddle star. This is the weakness we often see in Zoe. She's not a fantastic team fighter. Can't always actually land her damage. While as much as I know Mr. Fox hates her, at least Syndra can just press R. That always hits. Zoe, very much not as reliable. At the moment, GLX does have pretty firm control over the entrance to the river. Team Secret will have to fight through them as we move to the next slide. Rift Herald summoned up. That buys a fair bit of priority, but it's so far away from any actual towers.
Yeah, that's very interesting. However, I think that isn't going to really matter because at this point, Team Secret has dragged GLX out of the river. But because they're split up, Nagia and DNK were trying to sneak that dragon away while they were distracted, but they're not going to be able to do that. And we're seeing where GLX is actually coming up, getting their advantages in
don't
these
really
team
have
fights
much.
in their positionings.
They don't have much vision. They're kind of playing in the dark.
GLX actually has very good vision, but it's very centralized. It's given them a good pocket of space where Team Secret cannot really contest comfortably. However, that feint from Team Secret was able to pull them out of that pocket, and that meant that when Team Secret moves in, GLX has no real vision around the thing to set up. So when they were there first and could set up that pocket of vision, that meant they had full control over the river. But as they were dragged out, they then lose all control over the river. So it's a very high risk, high reward sort of vision setup. But when you have that dark pocket with a poke comp, you just are so
CBL's
terrifying.
in a lot of trouble. CBL just insta dies. The bubble lands and Nautilus cannot do anything.
Bubble into Zoe into Spear, that's just going to be a pick. That's going to be a turret
Into
going
a
down.
Felios ult as well. That was a lot of damage.
There is a lot of long-range damage on the team, so if a bubble lands, the follow-up is going to be quick, and it is going to be deadly. As CBL just found out the hard way, Slater also had to blow both his summoners to try and get out of there. I think the heal was mostly to try and save CBL, but it did not work at all. So that's going to be a mid-lane tower. That's going to give GLX more opportunities to get into the enemy jungle and try and set up these pockets of vision where they can hide, and Team Secret has to enter into them and just risk those bubble popping, those bubbles. Those bubbles are terrifying, man.
They really are.
I have nieces and nephews, and whenever they get out, want to blow bubbles, I get PTSD from this game. Thanks.
I mean, look, I quit League of Legends for 6 months when Zoe came in.
Fair.
That's not even a joke.
I think I was one-tricking Braum at the time, so I was just like, yay, shield.
I released Zoe was an abomination.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
Those bubbles are incredibly fearsome, as you say. As the interrupt on the recall there will no doubt infuriate Blazers, make those bubbles even more fearsome. But Kaiser's still incredibly scary in the game. The Aphelios is scaling. He has his 2 items now, but he's always vulnerable to getting blown up by Slater. However, Slater is not a new name. We know this man. And we know what he does on Kaiser, and what he often does is ult in the middle of 5 people and instantly...
Yeah, we just see a bit of a flash-for-flash trade from Bizbo. That's going to favor CBL in the long run because he has that Hex Flash, but it's not going to really amount to much overall. It's just 2 supports trading Flash. Nothing's really going to come from that for the most part. So, but at the immediate advantage is GLX had the priority. They're going to be able to set up their vision around Baron and make sure they have control over that area, set it up, and again, try and make sure they can get those bubbles in to get these picks and convert into objectives.
Yeah, we need to see Team Secret getting some real vision control down. At the moment, they are playing largely in the dark, and that is incredibly fearsome against the long-range engage, or rather the long-range poke from GLX. They need to actually establish vision, be able to see where the Zoe's coming from, see where the... And at the moment, they have absolutely no chance of that, but they are just in a holding pattern.
Yeah, and neither team is particularly great at starting this Baron to try and lure the other team into a team fight. GLX, I mean, both teams have a decent front line, but they're both quite slow at this point. Neither Syndra nor Zoe are very good at giving extra Baron damage. So it all comes down to the 80 carries, and I mean, Kai'Sa's not bad on 2 items at chunking through the Baron, and if Felios has the right weapon combination, which he kind of doesn't. But
I mean, this is just a Baron. They've stuck this. What do you mean he doesn't have the right weapon combination? This is blue-white. It's pretty much the best Baron take combo at the moment.
It's green-white.
Yeah,
it's green-white.
Okay.
It is white. That does.
Oh, but it's D&K, the Prince of Thieves! Come, Alibaba over the... That's my Baron, thank you very much. It's D&K in the Baron pit, Marby. It's D&K in a Baron.
They lacked critical information. They did not know about
that was blind. I'm pretty sure that was almost like he got vision right at the end.
Yeah, they dropped a blue trinket that they saw the health, and D&K knew in his heart of hearts that he was just gonna take that Baron, and that's what he did. The more things change, the more they stay the same with the VCS. Garn keeps winning, D&K keeps stealing Barons that he has no right to steal. And Team Secret just got a bit of a lifeline, even though the game is actually only 1,000 gold apart. It still feels like Team Secret has been a little bit unsure of where they can make their moves. But with that back in it, with these extra stats, they're going to have a good advantage over this Baron pit.
Yeah, Blazers is in a lot of trouble. Slater diving forward, but he slated it! He's already used the Gale Force. The spinning wheel of Slater's fate is ticking down. Takes a lot of damage, but he does live. Nagia doing a good job playing the front line. Does prevent anything. CBL with a hook. D&K with a stun. Kemken goes flying in. It's a big old bear. Here he goes. Roaring into the back line. They've already picked up that 1 kill onto CBL. D&K needs to find a way out. He goes into turtle mode. He goes back into bear form and will manage to evacuate. But it's going to be a third Drake picked up for GLX. They didn't get the Baron, but they do get the fight.
Only CBL dies, but there's enough of a health lead that it doesn't matter that they can use that small numbers advantage to pick up that dragon. Puts them on soul point. It is only Cloud, so it's not the best for them, but they're going to end up trading it for a mid lane turret, and I actually think, for the most part, in the immediate game, that's sort of favoring Team Secret, unless... Oh no, careful, something might happen. But,
something might. They are evacuating, but the blast cone should get them over. Slater actually put to sleep there. That bubble landed right before they left. Sword charging forward, but it doesn't matter! Gale Force is good item, yes! As Artifact blows up, it's a 1-for-1 on the back.
It was all a bait, Nagia. Block the spear, my friend. Block the spear for poor Mr. Slater. In the end, Artifact ends up paying for his sins as Sorn is able to, Sorn ends up going down, but Artifact, he's caught on the wrong side of the wall. He ends up trading 1-for-1. So, yeah, that's going to be a 4v4 on the map. Kemken, he's a little far forward. He could be in a lot of trouble.
Yep, it's bear v bear action. Who would win? Real bear or man dressed as bear? Man dressed as bear, evidently.
There are a few things faster in this world than a hobo in a bear suit.
I mean, it's a furry chasing down an anthro bear. Ooh, he's fierce. He's hungry. We'll pick up the turtle.
This is a PG podcast. Not
even a podcast. And this is
PG cast.
You're talking about it being PG? What is the exclamation mark Viddy command? Or Marby, I should say. Anyway, let's get back on track. Our Lord returns the lovely spinning circle. Slater continues to be extremely strong. We know what Gale Force Kai'Sa can do, particularly on 11.2, before the item has seen any changes. He will continue to be a serious assassination threat, but Shine on the other side, still scaling up. Only those 2 items, and as I say it, he adds a third.
Yeah, I was gonna just say, Shine has not backed in a while. He has not not paid any gold, so he's still on 2 items. He finally backs. He picks up that Lord Dominic's. He is going to completely ignore CBL and DNK as tanks now. He's more than ready to take team fights at this point. Everything should melt before him. So it's really going to come down to Slater and Shine. Whoever dies first probably loses the team fight. Which is usually the case with team fights, let's be honest. I just realized.
The push in from GLX is coming. They want to try and get on towards this mid lane inner. Zoe throwing some poke forward, takes a little bit back from Artifact, who, it has to be said, has not been very impactful on this Syndra. Rebel with the predictions, as always. Not hugely impactful, while Blazers has kind of been defining teamfights by whether or not he's hitting paddle stars. Team Secret with strong control of the bot side of the map. Kemken does spot them on the ward and will back off in time. But currently the map is split top to bottom.
Yeah, and on this side, and at this point, it's much favoring Team Secret. Their wave is more in position to actually get turret damage down. Blazers is so far away from that top turret. Plus, if Kemken gets too greedy, they have the ability to try and dive him. It's probably not going to be the case with Udyr making his way back into that mid lane, but that's just a free tower. Blazers has to backs away, so that's just a free tower. Just much better map rotation and wave setup for the side of Team Secret.
Yeah, we have a very, very close game on our hands. Suddenly, within 500 gold of each other at 29 minutes. I'll tell you for free. Yeah, I know. I'm just setting it up.
But I'm just saying it's amazing how close it's been for so long.
Yeah, I'll tell you for free. 500 gold at 29 minutes doesn't matter whatsoever. That is completely irrelevant. And the thing at the moment is where that lead is. A lot of the lead for GLX is in the mid. Or I say lead, a lot of their gold is in the mid lane. On Blazers, you can see he has 4 kills. He has 20 farm. Up on Artifact, as I was saying, Artifact has not been impactful. However, Team Secret, most of their gold is on Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is much more reliably able to... If Blazers lands everything, he can win a team fight on the spot. But it's Zoe. She doesn't always hit everything. Yeah. It's all skill shots. It's all hoping to get a bubble. If you don't land that, suddenly a lot of GLX's gold is useless. While Kai'Sa, it's Slater. He's probably just going to kamikaze the backline, but he'll press Q before he dies.
Yeah, the difference is GLX has a lot more non-committal damage. Slater has to get very close in to deal that damage, and he is all the damage. Whereas Blazers can just throw paddle stars for days, and if one eventually hits, then you can act on it. You do not have to go all in to try and make something happen. You can just sort of sit back, throw your paddle stars, and then if it hits, seize the opportunity. And talking about seizing the opportunity, Shine is just going to pick up this Dragon Soul, and Team Secret don't even seem to be aware of it. Oh, now they're going to become aware of it with Nagia.
Nagia charging forward. He's just going to try and contest this. Can he potentially get a kill or a steal? If he kills Shine, it's massive. He steals it. He steals it away. He gets the Drake. He stops the...
And Sorn's dead on the other side.
Sorn is dead on the other side. Wow, it's a 1-for-1. Nagia is nowhere near as valuable. When it comes to a potential Baron fight, Blaze is going forward, lands a bubble, but doesn't actually have a paddle star. Can't follow it up. There it is. Here's the engage. This is a good one. Double stun out of the Syndra. We have to wait for the next slide to find out what's going to happen. Bisbo going low. Artifact throws out the skill button. Goes the bear. They flash away. The hook is on the Aphelios, but he has the stasis. We need to see Slater getting out of this, dealing some damage. So he goes into the back line. Bang! Pop goes the Kai'Sa, or in terms of popping everyone else at least. She goes down in the end. But it's all of GLX cleaned up. A 3-for-5.
The damage was done by Slater. Even though he dies, it doesn't matter. That's a huge win for Team Secret. They have now got the gold lead back. That huge steal from the gear means GLX doesn't even have the Dragon Soul as a consolation prize. huge moves, huge plays out of Team Secret, huge hook out of CBL to pick up Shine. They're not going to be able to turn into any major objectives. I mean, you're going to get a red buff out of it because Dragon's off the map. You have 2 people left alive, but that is going to be a huge momentum swing, if nothing else. And here we just see, this is when the gear is stealing back Dragon. They're just a good hook onto Sorn. Bit of poke comes out.
Positioning from Sorn. Why is he there?
Doing a deeper vision escapade, but it doesn't work out for him. Then DNK just goes all in onto Blazers. Huge stun from Artifact, and you can see they managed to get these picks in a way that sort of sets up the low health bars. So Slater, when he does dive bomb into that backline, they are low enough for that Q to just tear them to shreds.
Yeah. Oh, the big 750 gold shutdown as well.
Yeah.
They do manage to kill him in the end here with the Ignite, but it just doesn't matter. The damage was done. The Kai'Sa continues to accelerate, and Artifact finally had impact in a fight there, landed 2 very good stuns, actually set Slater up to be able to dive back in once the exhaust ran out. So Team Secret finally firing on all cylinders for at least one team fight. They have to keep it up.
Yeah, but we're getting to the point where Zoe is just going to be even more disgusting, as Ken's going to get collapsed on. He's probably dead.
Yeah, he's completely dead. He can't get away from Slater. There's no chance. He's dead. Did he flash? He flashed! Ooh, that's a mistake, but look at this on the other side. It's a Baron start. Slater is very far away. Is secured, but look at the damage! This Renekton in the backline is going hard. Barbie, he is shredded him right and center, and Slater now arrives, and you got a Baron, but you don't have any health bars, as Team Secret cleans up 4. Sorn will limp away, but that kitty has been declawed, as Team Secret look to close out Game 2.
Don't think they can close it out right yet.
Not right now, but they're very far ahead.
There are just too many towers, but they are in a very strong position. They're going to at least get this mid inhibitor. DNK is just harassing Sorn, so clearly they want something to happen. We're not going to see the joys of Sorn just leaping back and forth over the Baron pit, over the Dragon pit, but that's going to be mid lane inhibitor for certain. They may be able to rotate down and pick up that bot lane inhibitor tower, or they just play it safe because there's 3 seconds on Ken. Yeah, just back off. You've got that inhibitor. You've gotten a huge gold lead. Go back. Spend that gold you just earned. Get Slater to max items. Get Artifact back up to contesting Blazers on his 4 items. These team fights are now going Team Secret's way, and in 1.5 minutes, we're going to see another one. And we're going to have to see, can GLX set up their team fights properly, get the poke down so Ken and Shine can blow them up before Slater does.
We'll have to find out. This is so far been a bit of a messy game, to say the least.
GA's not going to help you. GA's not going to help you, Shine.
Yeah, I think team fights are over too quickly for the G very much. This is actually something Your Way often talks about, or at least he used to. Is GA is actually not very good on ADCs. I don't know, that sounds weird, but it's because the fight's over by the time you get back up. Yeah, you get back up, but the fight's already over.
So this is probably slightly more useful in the case of just trying to survive the general poke, but even then, most of that is going to be magic damage, so maybe a Maw or something would have been a bit more useful. But I guess you do get to survive a little bit of the Q, get to reduce a little bit of the Q damage, but I think you were probably better off going for something like the Bloodthirster if you wanted to be defensive, or a magic resist item. Maybe pick up that QSS instead. But they've been caught napping. Sorn still has that Baron buff, so they're going to be able to push in this.
Yeah, they've really been caught flat-footed here. This is bad out of Team Secret.
They forgot about the Baron buff. I guess they just thought they just forgot that they didn't wipe Sorn off the map as well. So they're able to use this push to equalize that inhibitor. And Ken was able to...
Oh, down on the bot side. We actually have a fight, though, as there is a bit of an attack on the bear. They're going to go under the tower. There it is. They kill him.
He's going to die. They're going to be able to pick up that pick up this inhibitor tower, but they're not going to be able to pick up the turret because the flash is coming in.
They need to evacuate. They need to run. The tower goes down, but can they actually get away? There is a cloud on map as well. Bisbo over the wall, Slater hiding in the brush. They're just going to try and turn a... They can, but that's buying so much time. That stopwatch is good. I don't know if Slater can do anything here. DNK is here, should be able to set up a reposition for Slater, but I think they're just going to leave Nagia to die. Yep, they sacrificed the Crocodile. Now it's a 4v4. No top laners to participate in this Dragon.
No top laners. Team Secret has the first position onto the Dragon. Maybe they can burst it down in time with Slater here. Yeah, that's going to be gone, and they can just walk away. It's a 1-for-1 plus a Dragon over to Team Secret, and at this point, Slater's ultimate is going to be on such a low cooldown, he is going to just keep dive bombing it. And Pixie just going to keep happening for Team Secret at this rate. It is... That passage of play, that absolutely could be the throw for Team Secret. They've given up their free mid lane pressure. They ended up getting away from the bot lane collapse extremely well, but they've given up so much of their momentum that they got from that Dragon fight. This has given GLX a chance to find another team fight, and maybe they can win that one. The gold is so close. It's 2,000 gold at 37 minutes. That is not really enough to write off anyone at this point. Shine is almost at 6 items. So is Blazers. I mean, Slater is already there, but it is still extremely close in itemization, and that's what matters. You can still find a bubble or a long range spear on Slater, and that can just end the team fight before it starts.
Yeah, this game is... Oh, Thorn, very far forward. What are you doing? What are you doing? Bring in Killer Queen. Bring him in. What the... What did he just do?
Again, Vision. He's trying to go for Vision, but he's going in alone. Buddy system. Bring Bisbo. It is... He doesn't expect Slater to be there. I don't know why. Slater was pushing out the top wave. He should have known someone was up that way. But he just gets caught, he gets blown up, and now that's a 4v5 for another half a minute. That's going to be another tower. Though the tower gold is not really worth anything at this point. It's just going to be another siege setup for Team Secret, and they have so much control right now.
They're too short range to siege, though. They don't want to siege. This is actually possibly the best time for Sorn to end, because
there's no objective.
Secret can't siege, so it isn't actually going to punish them. Still a stupid mistake. Bisbo steps very far forward. He is a Braum, though. He does manage to dance away with his flash. DNK going very deep, calling Slater in. Bring in the air support. And the Kaiser arrives. They blow up the Blazers. That's a lot of gold removed instantly from GLX. A lot of their power is gone.
Sorn is back.
But again, they can't push these waves well enough.
Sorn is back, and you can see the damage he's doing with these spears. But he's not that Zoe. He doesn't have that bubble to work with. And Slater, he's just life stealing so much back. And
there we go. Look at that. The huge stuns. The CC combo was fat as hell. And there it is. It's going to be Slater weaving around the fight. Is no health flashing on. Coming up as K. And this is game 2 being out here. Team Secret. They lose game 1. The first time this split they've managed to lose the game 1, but they win the game 2. Also first time they've done that, and we will be going to a game 3. And my word, are these teams evenly matched?
I'm starting to think maybe Team Secret. Maybe it's just the curse of the first game. If they need to start throwing game 1s to win game 2 and 3. But they've managed to pull out they've managed to pull out game 2. They finally exploit the Nexus. We have to see, this is the first game 3 where Team Secret has the momentum. They are most likely going to be back on the blue side, but
now this is quite a series. The level of play might not be the highest, but it is definitely very, very even, which leads to exciting, fun games. So don't go anywhere. We hope you are enjoying the show here on VCS. If you are, let us know in chat. It makes us feel better about ourselves. And who doesn't need a self-esteem boost right now? So we will see you in about 10 minutes, probably. There'll be a timer on stream. Don't you worry. Our production will make sure. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back.
KDA? Should we show them how we do it every day? Let's get it. Kali that girl, Kali go girl, Kali gon' stop, Kali gon' skirt, Kali got a job, Kali got a word. 뜨거워 언제나 don't get burned. 넘쳐 흘러물 든 a rough it, 죽여주잖아 like a rough it. 누가 감히 on my outfit, 그 문 열지 마 that's a rough it. I'm giving you more cause I'm greater than. 필요 없는 시험들 다 뿐이미. But all of my numbers are talking back. 부루마법 message monopoly. 눈종이 돈이나 real money 필요 없대. 너네들이 많은 돈들 go get it, go get it, go get it. 또 미션 눈을 못대 못해 그래 너도 get it cause I got it different. All I ever know is life upon the throne. 시작하면 끝을 보는 거야. You want more? No, I got it, so here you go. You look like you could use some more. No, I got it and never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, set it up and away. You know I got it like bum bum, blow your mind. Never giving less and that's how it'll stay. 这一路上的奇迹都记住了你的每一个瞬间，无比的耀眼。I know you want some more， 准备好就一起走 ，Give me need more。Now I got it so deep, girl. You look like you could use some more. Now I got it, never running low. Yeah, I got more than enough, set it up and away. You know I got it like bum bum, blow your mind. Never get less than it's hard to stay. You know I got it like all day, all the time.
Welcome back, everybody. We are straight into Champion Select. No getting ready for this one. They're keen for Game 3, and I can't blame them. I'm ready and raring to go. And of course, we've got Rebel back with us, even though you don't get to see his lovely face on camera. What was your take on Game 2?
Team Slater looks really good when they've got the ability to move him forward in fights. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's looking like Slater's found a bit of his mojo back, and GLX, they're respecting it. That's the Kaiser ban. What are they gonna get? Oh, Coated's back in, by the way.
Oh,
What?
Interesting.
Seems fair. Nagia has had rough laning phases.
Yeah,
Against-
that's true.
So, bringing Coda back in, maybe you're looking for a bit of a stronger laner. We'll have to see how he plays on this. Sorn.
Come on, Sorn! What are you doing, man?
Sorn!
Sorn!
It's going to the Nidalee again. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't think Nidalee is a very high priority jungler on 11.2.
Alright, I have something for this. Sorn! What?
Sorn!
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 Alright.
Hey, that's new. Well, there we go.
So we're gonna see something new out of Shine. That's nice at least. But yeah, we're gonna see the Renekton Talia combination. That is a very strong combination. Talia is a very strong jungler right now, and we're gonna see Set locked in as a nice bit of a flex between. Well, actually, it's probably just gonna be a support. Let's be honest. I don't think anyone except Cardi's playing that mid. there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rebel.
I actually like it mid lane with Talia because it works in the same way that like a Renekton can. It is a little harder to hit the stun or the knockback with Talia into the rest of the mines, but it does kind of operate there. I agree with you though, especially into something like Samira where she wants to dive in and you can pull her away. I think it just does make sense into that pick either way, so I wouldn't be completely remiss if that ends up in the support role. Also, Sorn! Why?
Sorn! Why
Sorn!
indeed?
Why?
I'm very interested to see where they go with their picks. Now we're just seeing 80 carry bands thrown at Slater. They have recognized it's Team Slater as well. The Vayne was not one I was expecting to hit the bench, but especially when there's maybe like an Ophelia still up. But with the set locked away, that's probably not going to be the option for Team Secret. Maybe we see Ezreal. I would like to see Slater's Ezreal with the Duskblade Essence Reaver build, but
It's 11.2.
But yeah, it's 11.2. Everything's 11.2. Why is it 11.2? Southeast Asia, why are you at 11.2?
Why is like I don't understand. Like you can still pick Aphelios here. Like okay, it's not as good without a Thresh, which by the way can still be picked.
Please.
It can still be set mid. I'd actually prefer set mid. I think he's stronger mid than he is support. I play a lot of set. A Riven would be Pog. Are we getting the Blippo? Is the Blippo effect coming in? Remember, this is before the patch. Like,
Oh!
okay.
I'm more excited!
You're more excited for Ornn than you
Listen,
are for Riven.
I come from NA amateur.
That's
Viper
just
is
not
like
a
the
bit.
one trick who went professional there as a Riven player. Like, I get to cast Riven all the time, and it's one of my favorite champions. Somebody in the VCS picked Ornn into Renekton. The bad draft streak. It like actually thought about their draft for the first time in ever. I can't believe it. Hell has frozen over. Pigs are flying. Sorn, why did you pick Italy?
Rebel, do we have to show you the Simon clip again? VCS Ornn is a thing.
This is Ken though. Maybe he can break it.
Fucking clip again.
I mean, I do agree. Other than this Italy, this is a really good draft so far for GLX. But this is the other thing though. It's like Zaya exists. Like, what would they do to carry bands? Like, I don't get it. Why did you ban Vayne Callista? And like, Zaya is right there. Okay, sure. She's not in the holy trinity of ADCs on 11.2.
Okay.
But neither is Vayne or Callista.
Callista is like the next step down, so I don't hate that band, especially when paired with a set. That is a really strong duo. But Vayne is a bit it's a bit of a weird champ, let's be honest.
But I would have said, based on what I have watched of the VCS, and I have watched a lot of VCS, if you had told me Kai'Sa is banned, and Samira is picked, who is Slater going to pick? I would have said Zaya. This was obvious. He was going to go to Zaya way before he went to Callista. But I saw you getting excited at something, so...
The bait and switch! Galio is going into the support position. They thought Galio was going mid, that's why they picked the Lucian, because that is one of the most one-sided matchups since Quinn Renekton. But they switch a Rue, and guess what? Set's happy to rush armor every single day of the week, so he's just going to rush that armor, and Lucian's going to be quite sad he's not beating up on a Galio.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, it's very true. Rebel, what do you think of these drafts? You're not going to have much time to talk about it, because we know we get straight in.
So Blazes has actually played this twice, and he lost both games. And if I recall, actually set in VCS in mid lane specifically was the first response to Lucian when Lucian mid lane popped up. I think when I started around that time, Lucian mid lane was popping back up, and set was the response because of the full armor. Ever since, I learned this matchup actually is okay for Lucian if you've got good lane priority and if you're a good Lucian player. I'm curious if Blazes can finally step up to that. Sorn, why did you pick the Nidalee? Why? Why? It's GLX.
He does.
Sorry, that's it.
Do you think GLX win? Okay, fair enough. Despite the Nidalee pick, you do think GLX will win. All right. Fair enough. I think this is an interesting one. I think both drafts are a lot better than Game 2. I think Game 2 was two very, very bad drafts, and we saw that game was fun, and I had a great time, but it was terrible League of Legends.
I'm sorry. I'm just. Anyway, yeah, I think Team Secret has once again done a very good job in the draft. They've pulled out. I'm very happy with the switcheroo. I'm hoping Artifact can pull off this set mid and doesn't just sort of wander around and do a hell of a lot of nothing. That said, it's all on the back of Slater once again. Sure, DNK can put out a little bit of AP damage, but realistically, just going off the players more than anything. Like, DNK is definitely much more of a supportive jungler than a carry. So I really expect this to be Team Slater once again. Very interested to see how the spot lane goes. TBL, look, Galio is a really good support into Samira because that snap taunt can just completely remove her ultimate. And we're going to have to see how the spot lane plays out. It should be relatively even. Slater and CBL have a little bit of the poke advantage thanks to the Galio Q, but this top lane, it's already gotten a little bit better for Team Secret with Coated in the mix.
Yeah, he has evidently gotten a very good level 1 trade off. Must have procced his Conqueror and done fairly well, but Kemkan will regen up with that Doran Shield. Didn't go for the dodgy... I mean, it's not dodgy, it is good. It's a little bit scary where you go the refillable pot. I don't blame him. Yeah, that is very scary against Renekton at level 1.
Yeah, basically because of the matchup, you don't really want to risk the cheese coming through and just getting you completely pushed out of lane. Whereas, the Doran Shield, you're gonna back very quickly early anyway. You can just survive with your biscuits until then.
Yeah, exactly.
And
sorry?
And yeah, you have enough sustain with the Doran Shield plus biscuits. So.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
Am I lagging?
No, you're fine. Are you good? Can you hear me? Hello? Marby?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. We're fine. Oh, okay. Kemkan is in a lot of trouble. DNK will get that kill up in the top side. There will not be a counter kill. We didn't actually see the setup on that one. There was a bit of a sus observing. Hopefully we get a replay. But that is a very good start for Team Secret. They are winning the top lane, a luxury they have not had in the first 2 games. Yeah,
very, very nice visit from DNK. This is the first time Kemkan doesn't just straight up solo kill his opponent.
Teleport?
The flash was...
Whoa. Kemkan's teleporting bot. What? Observers? Hello? CBL goes down on the backside. Shine doing a really good job getting away. This is an insane play. What was the teleport out of Coded? I said Kemkan, I meant Coded. I'm sorry.
Alright, Shine played that backhand extremely well to get away from killing. Sorn is on the bot side. Slater might be sticking around, but yeah, we're gonna see a teleport onto this minion. CBL's just gonna probably flash taunt in.
He doesn't actually land the taunt.
Yeah, no, he does land it onto it gets cancelled from the headbutt, which means it instantly snaps onto Bizbo.
Oh, true.
So
hit Bizbo, didn't hit Shine.
But Bizbo does commit to try and keep them under tower. Sorn did in fact pick up that kill onto Slater in that replay.
Oh, but here we go. This fight is never stopping. A CBL in the mid. They don't follow up. Okay, they were really worried.
CBL had used his Justice Punch, so he couldn't keep the CC chain going. We just see Slater. He overcommits for Shine.
He actually gets the kill. Okay, so it's a 1-for-1.
He's left with nowhere to go. He just gets killed under turret by Sorn.
Okay, I think that's okay.
If Sorn wasn't there, he might have been able to get the kill and walk away. But chances are he saw Sorn coming down, so he just committed for the kill for the 1-for-1. But this is already a very bloody game. We have 5 kills at 5 minutes.
Yeah, my word, this is an extremely aggressive game. Slater has picked up a kill, so he is theoretically a little bit ahead. The back timing hasn't quite worked out in terms of combat stats. Also, Xayah takes a little bit longer than Samira, obviously.
Slater has actually spent more gold on combat stats. It's just not a complete. It's not like a completed component. It's this hash dash towards his Noon Quiver rather than stopping by the Vamp Scepter, because Samira is always going to go into shield bow, so she can do that.
Exactly. But it is good. The Xayah getting off to a good start does set her up to scale very, very well, even if that lead isn't going to matter right now. Sorry?
Cheeky from Sorn. He finished his Krogs, then headed up into the lane.
That's a lot of damage onto Blazers. Artifact has flash. When the Facebreaker comes up, DNK charging on in, throws out the Toblerones. The culling was used, but the species survives. And that's a kill for DNK in the mid lane. Talia, 2-0.
Yeah, DNK making his presence felt on the map. He's falling behind a little bit in farm, but he's got 2 kills, so he's completely fine in terms of gold. Probably just looking to set up some vision and make sure the bot lane, the bot jungle is a bit more controlled. Going to use this pressure from the bot lane to maybe transition into a
teleport
dragon,
coming in again. It's the set coming down. Shine's in a lot of trouble, gets taunted up, hits the cleanse, doesn't actually get knocked back by the Talia. This is starting out badly for Team Secret. There's the showstopper, slams the Alistair into the ground. At the moment it's just a 1-for-1. Sorn wandering in. Artifact doesn't want to go out that way and can't go out the other way. A very messy play here for Team Secret. They're over aggressive and they lose out.
Yeah, they commit so hard, but Alistair is one of the best counter divers in the game, and it doesn't stop because Camcan's going uncoded.
He's going in for a solo kill, gets the Brittle procs, but there's the Dominus coming in. The knock-up is good. He should be able to escape to his tower, but these top laners are going back and forth.
Yeah, both walk away with slivers of health. Coda's going to be able to regen a little bit more with his Q, but now Bizbo's made his way into the top side. They're looking to bait Coded in.
Yeah, they really are. They're baiting the dive. There's the Hex Flash, but he doesn't get in range for the Alistair combo. Coded staying very close. Knows it's a Hex Flash, so isn't too threatened at the moment. Very aggressive game.
Bad angle from Bizbo, who could have flashed more down towards the south side of the map and tried to wrap around a little bit. Maybe just get a straight up headbutt into tower and then try and walk into a knock-up. But
Shine has to be very careful here.
It ended up working. Nothing really ventured, nothing really gained. Shine has a good amount of vision coverage, so he should be able to back off to his team if they had gone for it. But yeah, it's just very, very violent game so far. But Slater is coming out ahead on Shine because look at that CS difference at this point. It's a good 20 CS up. It's gonna get closed a little bit with this wave, but that more than makes up for the assist that the extra assist Shine has.
Yeah. Yeah,
the main advantage is 1,000 gold lead is basically on the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty massive lead in the jungle and the bot lane here for Team Secret. They are finally having a good early game. They've actually struggled in both of the games to get anything rolling in the early game, and they've definitely got something rolling this time. Artifact as well, he's 6 CS down. He's probably only going to be about 2 CS down, assuming he farms up the tower fairly well here. Against Illusion.
Way better than it
That's great.
Really good as a melee into Illusion. Yeah, he's loving his time right now. Dean, that said, GLX are first to this Rift Herald. They're probably going to get it relatively uncontested, but Bizbo, oh no.
Ooh. He does take a bit of damage.
They knew exactly where he was.
Yeah, DNK missed a bit of the follow-up, though. They are going to move in towards the Herald, but it is secured by Sorn. The Ornn ult does well, but CBL flashes the wall. There's a huge culling Artifact with a massive haymaker! But the follow-up wasn't quite there. It's just a 1-for-1. Does Coded want to make a party of it? No, I don't think he got the invite. But Slater...
completely saves that. Artifact completely saves that play. Turns it into a 1-for-1 with a massive... Facebreaker into Haymaker combo, and in the end, you've got Slater on the bot side just trading turrets. They're going to get about the same amount of gold as from the Rift Herald as was gotten just by Slater on his own. Slater is actually probably going to get even more out of it. Probably not going to be able to finish off this turret as the bot arrives, but so much solo gold, so much solo experience onto Slater. He is getting exactly what Shine got last game. Look at that. He has a 2-level lead over Shine because of how much time he's had by himself.
And this is a problem, because Xayah is not super easy for GLX's comp to deal with, but we have a bit of a replay here. It's a good Ornalt to start things off, but look at Artifact saving the play.
Absolutely, just...
Ooh, DNK as well. He popped 3 people back. I didn't spot that on in the actual cast. He hit a Talia knockback on 3 people. That was really well done.
That probably stops it from being like a two for one. But in the end, look, it was just, you shouldn't be fighting that composition in the corridors. It's such a good spot for Alistair and Ornn to fight in. But yeah, Artifact just completely turned that around. And that means it's just a huge win across the map for Team Secret. Huge amounts of gold onto Slater. He's already got his Gale Force after, being a little bit... Actually, no, he's had an alright game from the start, so he's fine. But look at that. Yeah, he's almost 1,000 gold up on Shine just by himself. And that's basically the entire gold lead for Team Secret at this point.
So there is a real disaster here. That's the mid lane for GLX. They've picked Lucian. Blazers is a good Lucian player. Like, Rebel sort of pointed out that he has lost twice on this, but I don't think it was... I'd have to go back and watch the games, but I don't think he played badly in either of them. I actually think he played very well on Lucian. But we do have DNK coming in here. They're trying to make me a liar, as this Lucian is going to be taken down. DNK gets his 3rd. My word, what a player this Talia is. But as I was saying, he's a good Lucian player, but he's behind a set.
And that
can't happen.
Yeah, it really can't happen. But
we don't get time for analysis. There's another fight down in the bot side. Bizbo taunted up, but with that ultimate, he is very, very tanky. But the reinforcements are here. The style meter is charged, but it doesn't matter how stylish you are, because the boss is better, and it's a double kill for Artifact.
Double kill for Artifact, a first turret for Team Secret. That is going to fly them up to 4,000 gold in the lead almost. They can turn that into the Mountain Drake as well if they so desire. And I'm actually loving this Artifact, this set.
Yeah. They've copied Cardi.
A combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they copied Cardi, but yeah, we see they go in. Good job from Bizbo to try to block CBL from getting that kill onto Shine initially, but when the boys rock up, it's over for you. Just Set gets a massive showstopper into Haymaker, into Facebreaker, into Haymaker. Beautiful. That is what Set's dreams are made of.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to need to change the bed sheets tonight. Let's be honest, boys. Because
I mean, I might need to change my pants in the break between the series. I'm a Set main, and that made me very happy to watch. Big fan of this guy.
Yeah, but just quickly, the Talia Set is beautiful because you don't even need to land your W. You just let Set pull people through the Skittles yourself.
Yeah, it's true. And this is good to see because, we have seen good mid-set in the VCS, but it's always been Cardi. We were kind of saying this is a Carti pocket pick. He is Set mid was much more widely played last year because it was kind of just broken. So yeah, everyone played it. But Cardi has kept playing it. And he's been ridiculously good on it. He's been making it look like Set never got nerfed. I'm really happy to see Artifact coming in and doing it as well, and playing really, really well, bringing the power of this set in. I'm super happy to see it. Artifact is sometimes a little bit of a one-dimensional player, and this is actually adding, a little bit of 2D to it.
Yeah, we may be seeing a little bit of the scrim results coming out from Team Secret here, because that is one of the beautiful things about regional leagues. It's unfortunately we don't get to see them clash very often, but you get to see these unique...
Blazers flashes away, but DNK with the wall coming on in. Can they get the kill? The show is stopped, and Artifact now just has to find a way out. With DNK covering him, that's no problem whatsoever. Bizbo and Sorn, what are you going to do? This literally has had zero impact, has gone the Night Harvester, but hasn't harvested anything. There's more fighting going on. The Galio's coming in. I know you want to talk, but I can't let you. I'm sorry. As Shine is getting dove in here, he's going to go down, potentially. A good use of that W to buy time, but it wasn't enough. On the other side of the map, Kemken has been claimed. We'll have to get some replays. And this is a bad game for me to have to cast while I have a cold.
Yeah, Team Secret, they are finally... coming into game 3 with momentum. We're gonna see the replay. Just Kem already chunked out, coded. He's got a full health bar. He just comes in and kills them off. Has the dominance if needed. Doesn't even have to use it. Actually, I don't think he had it. Probably.
And this is back to live. Ooh, they can't quite get onto Blazers. And now the collapse is coming in. This is a chance for GLX to fight back. Coded. He's just going to sacrifice himself.
Yeah, makes sense. Give over the one that doesn't have a giant shutdown on them. On the other side of the map, Slater is going to pick up a turret. That is going to be just cross-map play coming out in the advantage of Team Secret. Again, Team Secret playing this game so beautifully, and I'm really hoping that we see a bit more set mid. Maybe once we get to an international tournament, if we've got an international tournament, we find out it's actually just
Artifact.
But Artifact, he's got blood in his eyes. He is so ready. He has rushed this dead man's plate so he can keep on top of the solution and keep making plays. I'm interested. I would like to see him go into the chem tank and just so he can make even more plays. Copy Udyr a little bit. Be the best bear in town, but we'll see what happens. I assume he's probably just going to go Sunfire. Yeah, it took a while for that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I think he'll just get Sunfire. Let's talk about some items. We haven't actually commented on it very much. The one that I'm noticing is Ornn. Got the Frostfire.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
So
What do you think about that one, Harvey?
I think he's been playing a bit too much live. At this point, Sunfire is still extremely strong. Plus, the Ornn upgrade is nuts. The cost reduction really made Frostfire an attractive option, but if you are just trying to be that big, beefy frontline that no one can get, that you don't want anyone getting past, Frostfire is that. It makes you bigger. It lets you kill Coded maybe. Sorn's going over,
Coded.
but Sorn.
Nope.
Sorn, why'd you pick Nidalee? It's useless, man.
It hasn't done anything.
So-
This is a really terrible.
So we're just seeing. So yeah, if it makes you bigger, it means you can block skill shots for your team. It gives you more health. It means you can slow people trying to get past you. It is one of the best Warden options, and also has great kiting chase potential, rather.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and we'll have to see if Team Secret can keep this going. Because this is a very good look for Team Secret. They won Game 2, but did anyone really win Game 2? It was a very sloppy game. This is actually good. This is good play.
Yeah, this is extremely good. They've got great control over the enemy jungle, and that's given them a free Drake completely uncontested. That's putting them onto Soul Point. Now they can now they can just wait 5 minutes and force GLX to come to them. But it isn't Cloud Soul, so maybe GLX are comfortable just giving that up, trying to get as much gold onto their carries as they can for 10 minutes, or maybe whenever the next Baron fight happens, and wait for that objective, or as I said, 10 minutes, try and go for Elder.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. I personally would be upset if they let Elder spawn. I always think that if you're winning a game firmly, letting Elder spawn is actually a mistake, because it's the one way you lose. The miracle Elder steal happens, and you can actually lose a game from that. So I would like Team Secret to close this one out before Elder Dragon spawns. We'll have to see if they're able to do that. It's not a cardinal sin or anything. Like, if you end up winning the game anyway, fine, whatever. But I just, that's just something I always like to keep track of.
Yeah. And I mean, when a game,
Chem Tank, by the way.
Yeah, and when a game like this comes out where you get the dragon so early, it's kind of hard to finish before Elder spawns when it's spawning at like 25, in this case, 30 minutes. It's a pretty late. It's going to be a reasonably early Elder, so, can't fault them too much for not closing it out before then, but I would definitely, at that point, I would definitely not be against trading a 1 Cloud Soul for a Baron if you can get yourself into that position.
Yeah.
And when you are 8,000, nearly 8,000 gold ahead of the opponent, you should be able to burn Baron so fast. And that's just going to be a free turret and maybe a free shine. Nope,
Potentially. It is just a tower. Shine will manage to get away, still has that ally dash before 11.4, of course. Artifact doing a great job zoning out. We can talk about that in a podcast, maybe. I know that hurts you. I agree. Don't worry, Marvy. Bisbo. I do want to, we've been very down on GLX and very up on Team Secret in this game, as I think is fair, but Bisbo's been playing really well. I think he's been playing really well on this Alistair.
Bisbo and Shine Ken to some extent have been playing pretty well. Yeah, Ken did get solo killed that one time, but at that point he was just kind of really far in the hole and took some bad trades. So it happens. Ken's been playing really well this series, so I'm not going to fault him too much for one bad sort of play.
Charging forward. He's trying to make something happen, but he's so deep. And look at CBL flying into the backside. A long-range ult will hold them up for only a moment. And this is Team Secret absolutely dominating. GLX have been wiped off the map. Apparently, the luxury that they're referring to is getting to play in a grey screen, as they are all taken down, bar Ken, of course. And the mid lane tower is now under siege. Team Secret did not even lose one.
The screens of G Media Luxury looking about as grey as their new logo. It is terrible. And you feel so bad for Bisbo. He played that fight perfectly, but he is so far behind. Slater has so many tools to keep himself safe that he wasn't able to get anything done, but he did blow everything from Slater. He blew the ultimate, he blew the Gale Force, he blew the Flash, but it's just not enough. He is too far down, and now it is an 11, nearly a 12,000 gold lead. It is going to be nearly insurmountable. Look at this play from Bisbo, just beautiful flat, headbutt to knock out this thing, Flash knock up on both the carries, but just flash away from Slater, brings it back. He did all he could. It is just a disaster.
The way Bisbo plays that, I mean, if this game is close enough, he's never going to kill the Xayah or anything like that, obviously. But Slater didn't deal damage in that fight. It dealt very, very little damage because of Bisbo. It looks a bit silly, but he just kamikazed and said, "You're going to kill me, but you're only going to kill me. You're not going to do any other damage in the fight." But the problem is, his team's just too far behind, so they don't win that 4v4. They should. A support and an ADC being out of the fight, the team that support's not there should win the fight, but Sorn is just dead. This is just an absolute shellacking. Artifact in the backside, charging forward. Ken will get showstop. Shine going low, but does have that shield bow for now. Blazers dancing around well, but not well enough. This is Artifact, the king of the ring, as the set is left, right, good night. Knocks them out. They hit the pavement hard. King hit. And this is going to be Team Secret charging up to claim their first series of Spring 2021.
We're seeing the biggest fault Bisbo has made in this game. He can't even cowbell it out. Oh, never mind. He whiffed the headbutt. Bisbo's garbage. Bench him immediately. Worst Alistair I've ever seen.
No, in all seriousness, that was a really good performance out of Team Secret. Different team than the first two games. It looked like 5 different players took to the Rift there. That was really, really impressive. We'll go, assuming production is okay with it, we'll go to okay. We will be going to a break in a little bit, but we'll talk first. Don't worry. If Team Secret can play like that, they're a good team. The problem is they only do that one game out of 3. You got to start doing it in 2. You're not going to get game 2s like that against better teams.
No, absolutely not. It's really rough. Team Secret and BTS are quite similar in that they have these one games in their series that they're really good. We saw a little bit better out of Team Secret in the other 2 games. The first game was very competitive. The second game was also very competitive, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see in future series. They've got one coming up this week. We double checked that. We're good.
Yep. SBTC. That's a big game. If they could beat SBTC, Secret's season is back on track.
If they can.
They're 1-2.
Absolutely.
That's not that bad. It's bad.
No,
don't get me wrong. It's a bad start, but it's not that bad.
They were actually really blessed for by scheduling, because they only had 2 series in the first 2 weeks, where most teams Well, every other team had at least 3. So
yeah, and now we will, of course, have an analyst desk where we can talk about all these things, but we will be going to a bit of a break to get ready for our second series. Don't go anywhere, guys. We hope you are enjoying the show. If you are, let us know in chat, or consider supporting us on Patreon, or subscribing to the stream, or just donating if you feel really generous. We'd really appreciate all of those things. You can also join our Discord community. It's always very, very active with hundreds of members. So we'll talk to you guys in about 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere.